Alrighty, so what's going on, everyone? I just want to start off by saying thanks to all you guys who attended this call. We got tons of value to share with you all, so please make sure you're taking notes and following along. If you were invited by this call, or if you were told by a friend, I want you to take the time right now to simply just do me a favor and thank that person for putting you in a position to win and to level up. One message I want you guys to carry through this call is the secret to your success is actually hidden in your daily routine. Today is August 30th, the start of the third quarter of the year, the halfway point. I challenge you to stay consistent. So a little bit about me. So my name is Tyler Mercier, as some of you guys know. I'm your host here for the Zoom call, and I'm really excited to have all you guys here. I know you guys are gonna get a lot out of this. I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown about myself, and then I'll hand it over to Sean. I'm originally from Pelham, New Hampshire, but I just relocated to Fort Lauderdale last year. I currently own two businesses, one with my brother called Animal Supply, where we launched last summer in July. It's a clothing brand where we donate to endangered animals through the profit of our sales. The other business I have is called Liquid Heat. That business is a luxury boutique that I'm actually going to be bringing into a brick and mortar location in South Florida soon. So I've been in the resale game since I was 10 years old, basically trying to buy and flip anything I can make a dollar on. My plan with my brick and mortar store is to actually unroll the first luxury store to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Another cool thing is that I'm also a real estate agent down here in South Florida. And one of the goals that I have is just to achieve financial freedom while changing thousands of people's lives along the way. One day, I actually want to own a corporation where I'll get into the commercial real estate market. And, you know, I just think that for me, the biggest thing in life that I want to be able to do is just give back and be able to provide value to people. I noticed on your guys' responses as well that you guys responded why you guys wanted to be here and learn about NFTs. And I read all of your amazing responses, and, you know, I'm happy that I can get you guys involved in this. And like the internet, I want you guys to think of this like the internet in the 1990s or social media in the early 2000s. NFT, what you guys need to understand is that NFTs are going to go down in history as basically as one of the most significant things to happen in modern technology and culture at a large. NFTs for me, I mean, they include all of my lifelong interests, to be honest. The collecting aspect, the trading aspect, and the flipping business, all along with creativity and building the community. Basically, what I'm trying to build here in this group with everybody here, I'm trying to build a really good community centered around like-minded people who just honestly just want to help each other win. And a little thing that I like to leave you guys with is anything that you guys want in life, I want you to understand that it's literally at the tip of your fingers. You literally just need to wake up every single day and make sure you're doing everything that you can to accomplish and achieve these goals. I want you guys to make sure that you guys are writing things down and you're looking at them until they become almost inked into your brain. And one of my favorite quotes and sayings is, remember that all of your dreams and aspirations, they're actually already done. Time just hasn't actually caught up yet. Now, that's a little bit about myself. Now, I'm going to hand it over to a couple more of the speakers. Sean, if you want to introduce yourself, and Mike, I don't know if we were able to get function here today, but...
Yeah, someone is saying that the voice is coming from someone's Discord who's on their computer.
Hey,
Is your
Tyler,
Discord open?
I think you're still in one of the Discords.
What was that?
I think
you might still be in Discord.
No, I'm off Discord. I completely logged out.
No, you're still in one of the chat rooms. I'll kick you out of it if I can.
Yeah.
While I'm doing that, does Mike want to talk?
Yeah, all right, about me. I've only been investing in NFTs since literally the end of last month, but that's not where my interest started or anything. I started being interested in them. Shoot, it's been a good probably like 4 or 5 months, I feel like, that I've been interested in them. But you know, crypto and investing and all that has always been an interest of mine. I've started taking that a lot more seriously as of recent. So I've just been kind of diving headfirst into the NFT game. I mean, in that past month, I have all 12 of those NFTs I put up there. I didn't want to pick one because I couldn't. So
right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start talking about myself now. My name's Sean. I go by It's Me Snee on a bunch of social media platforms. I'm just someone out of Massachusetts who saw NFTs and thought for a long period of time, hey, that's something really expensive. I can never get into that. Like, I missed the boat. I'm sure, like, I always saw things like Bored Ape Yacht Club and saw back when they were selling for like 14 Ethereum and stuff like that, and thought, damn, I'd never be able to afford something like that. About 2 months ago, I started investing in NFTs. I started with something called the Crypto Cockatoos, and that didn't go as planned, but oh well. I now have about 40 NFTs. I've sold maybe 15 or so and use that to like reinvest in stuff and projects that I believe in. I think NFTs are a really interesting thing that we'll start to see more and more as time passes. And I think just being in this call right now shows that you're like an early adopter and that you're kind of putting yourself ahead of the game. And I think that's great for everyone here. But yeah, I'm more or less just still exploring NFTs. I admit I'm very new to it, but at the same time, I think I have a bit of knowledge that might be helpful to others.
Awesome. So, something that I have to tell you guys just before we get into this. Now, before we get started, I have to read through it just because I don't want anyone to think that they're just going to magically get rich overnight. Or play what you really need to do is just be able to play with money that you can afford to lose. What I mean by this is that there's really no guarantee on a return on investment. So I've had countless investments where they've literally gone to zero, and I've had others where I've gotten pretty lucky and they've done pretty well. But at the end of the day, we're not financial advisors here, so do not buy what we buy without basically doing your own due diligence. We're here to help you guys obviously get started and bring as much value to this space as we possibly can. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is just a general overview of what we're going to be covering. I'm not really going to get into too much of what it is, but that's the general aspect. So I have a friend here. His name is Arthur Caravellis. He is a CEO of Grow With Us Agency. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you guys, but he's basically going to be covering the crypto space, and he's going to be providing you guys a bunch of value on crypto as a whole and basically the importance on it for our future. So Arthur, whenever you're ready, if you want, you can take that away. I think he's still here.
I think he's muted.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
I just got to
him.
unmute him. My bad.
Yeah, my bad, bro. It's because it's raining a lot here in Miami. I'm in the car right now, so I muted myself for a little bit.
No, you're good, boss.
Can hear me well. I hope everyone can hear me very well. So yeah, thank you, Tyler, for giving me the chance, to provide some value, talk a little bit about myself, the crypto space in general. So, I am into digital marketing and also cryptocurrency, as Tyler knows. I've been, fortunate to be in this industry for around, 3.5 years now. And something that I just want to say about crypto is that, you here in the Zoom meeting, if you're interested in crypto now, you're still an early adopter. This industry is still, far from done, even though we are in a pretty big bubble, I would say. And this bubble is going to pop, in 2021, in my opinion. You're still early, right? The cryptocurrency market cap, when you compare it to the stock market, when you compare it to, other markets, gold, stuff like that, it's still tiny compared to those other markets. So there's, a lot of room for growth. And this growth is only going to come when, cryptocurrencies are mass adopted and accepted by governments, which is coming, within the next 5 to 10 years. So I just wanted to say, like I said, you guys are still early. There's a lot of opportunities in this industry. So, NFTs, I'm not really into that. Tyler is obviously going to, lead the way in this call and give you guys a breakdown on, how to succeed in the NFTs, kind of things. But I want to go ahead and just give you guys some of my favorite, altcoin picks for September, the rest of this bull run. So anyone who knows me personally knows I'm a big XRP fan. Okay, XRP is a cryptocurrency with the use case of, cross-border payment solutions. So as you guys know, let's just say when you're transferring money, like, through a wire transfer, internationally, it takes a long time, payment, it's just slow and costly. XRP is going to be fixing this issue, you know, moving forward. Instant transactions cost very little to send money out. So, you know, XRP is one of my main picks. They're currently involved in a lawsuit with the SEC, and this lawsuit is rumored to be settled in the next 2 weeks. So the price is, you know, obviously going to appreciate a lot in the month of September. Another coin that I'm very interested in is Cardano, ADA. That's also a coin that's been doing, you know, it's actually been performing very well over the last couple of weeks. It jumped from $1 all the way to $2.97, you know, a couple of days back. So you guys should probably wait on a pullback if you want to get in. But definitely, you know, in the month of September, I see Cardano hitting new all-time highs, potentially topping out at like $10 or so in the next 2 weeks. They have a huge event September 12th. They're updating their blockchain to compete with Ethereum. It's called the Alonzo Hard Fork. And that's, you know, that's probably going to push Cardano past $10 in the next, you know, 2 weeks. And if you guys think about this, which other industry, which other space do you have a chance to 3x, 4x, 10x, even 100x your money in a matter of weeks? You know, if you're trading with leverage, stuff like that, and or simply just, you know, investing and being an investor, right? You know, there's not that many industries that offer you this huge potential for ROI. As Tyler was saying, it's all about just, you know, buying at a great entry point and selling high, right? You know, that's what everyone truly, you know, needs to do to succeed. One thing before I pass it on over to Tyler is that, you know, obviously none of this is investment financial advice. You guys should obviously do your due diligence, you know, before buying any altcoin, any cryptocurrency. But one thing that I want to say as well is that I do think we are in a pretty massive bubble. Okay, just want to send out a big warning to everyone. And if you are going to enter, you know, this market right now, you know, you should be looking to make short-term trades, if you know what I'm saying. Like, this is not something that you're buying now at almost the top of, you know, the market and holding for the next, you know, 3-4 years, because we are about to enter a bear market. Okay, I don't want to scare anyone away. That's just my personal opinion. I think that if you guys are going to enter this space right now, and let's say you don't own any cryptocurrency, you should be entering trades that are going to be only for the next month or so before everything crashes. And because, you know, I really guarantee you guys, 1 year from now, every cryptocurrency is going to be cheaper than what it is today. Okay. But yeah, before I pass it over to Tyler, I just want to, you know, give everyone a little more altcoin picks that I have for the month of September. So on top of XRP and Cardano, I also think XLM is going to do great. It moves with XRP. And, you know, essentially any altcoin that still hasn't reached their all-time high and they're lagging behind, they're going to perform great as well. Another example is Litecoin. Litecoin should have a great month, September, October, close out the bull run. But yeah, other than that, guys, you know, crypto is really, really, like I said, an industry where we're still pretty early, even though, you know, there is this potential crash to come. You know, if you are truly a long-term holder and you're entering the space in 2021, by 2030, you know, you should be retired. You should have, you know, financial freedom and achieve everything you want by getting in this industry so early. But yeah, Tyler, I'll pass it over to you.
Arthur, bro, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for giving people all the value you can with the crypto space. Arthur's been a huge help for me in actually getting involved in the crypto space. So I just want to say thank you, brother, and thanks for coming on this call.
Appreciate you, boss.
All right, boss. So we're gonna move forward. 1 second. All righty. All right, so a little bit about Coinbase, right? So Coinbase is going to be important. So Coinbase is a secure online platform for actually buying and selling, transferring and storing all your digital currency. They have a pretty unique mission. Their mission is actually to create an open financial system for the world, and they want to be the leading global brand for helping people convert digital currency in and out of their local currency. In my personal opinion, I think Coinbase is probably one of the easiest and the safest, most user-friendly platforms to use in terms of actually buying and selling the crypto. That really gives you a rundown on Coinbase. If you guys are looking to actually buy into cryptocurrency, I would say this is going to be your easiest platform to be able to use. The next platform we have is going to be Metamask. So Metamask is actually a browser extension. And they also have a mobile app that you are basically able to use and interact with the Ethereum blockchain. So what this app actually allows users to do is through a browser extension or app, we can interact with decentralized applications. With MetaMask, this is where you're actually going to want to store your Ethereum for when you're trading NFTs. You're going to have an ETH wallet. There's also many different ways that you can actually receive ETH in the wallet. The way I do it is I just buy Ethereum right on Coinbase, and I'll literally go onto my MetaMask wallet. I'll hit copy the receive address, and I'll literally just send the Ethereum right from there. But there's another way to do it. I personally haven't had any success doing it this way, but if you can, I know friends that have. There's a thing called MoonPay. So MoonPay is a global payment solution for cryptocurrency. It's a simple and powerful, painless type of software that you're basically able to use, and you can use a debit card, and it comes basically right out of your bank account. So you're not going to deal with that transfer fee or anything like that when you're using Coinbase. And I personally, like I said, I haven't had any success with it. All right, so getting into fungible versus non-fungible tokens. Oh, wait, no, that was the right one. Yeah. So what is an NFT, right? So let's get started with that. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that in this game of NFTs, you actually really don't have to convince anyone on your beliefs. Instead, I like to have a little bit of conviction. I'm not going to be sitting here trying to convince you guys to buy NFTs. Convincing's fun and all, but when you're this right, it's just not necessary. I had a lot of people like messaging me saying, convince me to buy an NFT. Why should I buy it? All I'm going to say is the thing is, this NFT thing is going to be one of the biggest technology shifts of all of our lives. And I'm not going to sit here and try to explain to you that you just don't understand social currency or, human behavior, or even why do people wear logos on their clothes, or what happens in a digitalized world. If you think way back then, why did the chiefs and Indians and the cavemen, why did they paint their faces with colors and have skins? I mean, come on, guys, this has literally been going on right in front of us. So if you guys remember back, I think it was like 2016, there was a thing called Farmville. And now that was just it was just a silly game where people planted virtual crops. But on a much larger level, we watched people spend real dollars to buy virtual sheep. Now, this right there, that kind of made me think in my head. This made me understand that our lives are becoming more and more digital. Now, what I realize is that human beings, we now need to communicate through our purchases. So this is why like the fashion industry exists. If we weren't compelled to send each other messages through the actual brands and logos we wear, people wouldn't be like wearing the Gucci or wearing the Louis Vuitton, everyone would just be dressing the same. There's nothing to make us stand out and be unique. So these observations told me that as technology basically advances, the things we own in a digital form would now become the new conversation starters. So I know that many of you guys are new here, and obviously many aren't going to understand this just yet because you're really not able to look past the present moment. But I want you to understand that NFTs, they reflect the behavior from a macro human standpoint, and they're about to cause a bigger wave than anyone could have possibly ever imagined. So NFTs, what they are is they're best understood as a unique digital asset. And, they exist in all different varieties of industries. They can be digital art, they can be, virtual real estate, to collectibles, to gaming, and so much more. And basically, any type of media now can be minted or tokenized and turned into an NFT to be traded. So another thing too that's really cool, cards, memes, GIFs, video clips, audio clips, tweets, even this actual Zoom call that we're all in right now. All of these can be transformed into an NFT. And once tokenized, these assets can actually be bought and sold in trading using cryptocurrency. So another little thing that I want you guys to think of is think about the internet, right? Back in I think it was the 90s, right? 1990, the first internet collected the information, right? The second internet created the framework for communication. Now this third wave of what we're on right now, this third wave of the World Wide Web part 3, this NFT thing is going to capture the consumerization of assets. And I'm telling you right now, the stakes are really, really high. So I want to kind of give you guys a picture to kind of draw in your head. So I want you guys to maybe think or imagine your aunt, maybe your uncle, your grandma, maybe your parents, you know, every time when you go into their house, think about what you see. Do they collect stuff? Do they collect, you know, maybe unique things, marbles, antiques, cards, magnets, maybe even pins, right? So what I want you guys to understand is that us as humans are inherently hoarding assets, and we use them for ourselves because we get caught up in the nostalgia of a story, right? So when we use that nostalgia of the story, we use that to flex. So flexing in this aspect of things, think about a painting. So, right, flexing a painting, or I don't know, if you got a really, really cool Winnie the Pooh collection or a Beanie Baby collection, right? It might be really epic and dope and cool in your house, right? But it's kind of hard to show that off, except for the people that actually come through and see it in your house. So what I want you to think about is the blockchain now, right? The blockchain is now going to accelerate the foot traffic of your flex or your asset, and it'll now allow you to be able to market it along with selling it while being able to show it to that many more people. So I think that in big terms of things, I think a lot of people are just grossly underestimating NFTs. And I think that right now people think of them as maybe like collectibles or, you know, an art flip game, because I mean, that's just what's happening. But I mean, a lot of skepticism, it comes from people just asking, can I just save the images on my computer instead? Which, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, why couldn't you just take that picture and just hang it on your wall and say you own it, you know? But I think the biggest thing that comes down to this is a majority of these projects that are actually released, they give you a commercial licensing over the actual NFT. So that means like when you, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, I believe they're coming out with some merchandise, right? So with you owning the specific smart contract of this NFT, it now allows you to hold specific ownership of it. So you want to also make sure, because not every NFT is going to give you that specific commercial licensing, but you want to always check in advance though. So a few different unique properties help show ownership of an NFT. So these include the metadata, the contract address, or even the token ID and the blockchain. So this actually allows you to see ownership on any device where the NFT is viewable. So for example, if Sean has his NFT, right, and he's, I don't know, all the way in California, for example, and I'm in Florida, I can now view his virtual asset. I can view his flex and see it right on my phone, versus like him having that Beanie Baby collection and now it being in his house. And the only way that he's ever going to be able to show that or flex that is if someone comes to his house and sees it, you know? So back into the Beanie Babies, right? So there's many different similarities and different comparisons to NFTs. But like, for example, you have Beanie Babies. They had a crazy resale value after a period of time where they were common or even everywhere. And we were able to see that obviously specific ones with specific unique traits resold for more value due to increasing demand. And like today, in today's world, we have an entire generation now that is playing, I don't know, Fortnite, 2K, Madden, and, you know, they're going to buy all these digital assets to go flex on these games and these platforms. And these flexes and assets, you know, they don't even make you a better player in the game. So I think that's going to play out, but I just think that's a nuance of NFTs. I think that's one side of things. When I really talk about NFTs, I really think about the fashion industry. What I think about is like, I think about the way someone would wear a Rolex, or I think about, or like, why would someone wear a Rolex? You know what I mean? So think about like even social media. Like, how about this, you know, where everyone says like, I don't know, social media is full of, like, everyone that posts on social media is full of shit. Like, everyone takes photos and fakes it. You know, it's going to be a lot better social identity for people, instead of being able to like try to flex that social media, is what tokens you actually have in your wallet publicly. And now what you'll be able to see is you can see what was traded 10 months ago. I mean, you can see what's traded every second. So I think that if you own, let's just use this as a little example. LeBron James, for example, he bought an NFT, minted an NFT, and then he sold it on the OpenSea. And if he sold this and you were one that bought it, you know, it would be cool now to be able to say, hey, I own something that was in LeBron's wallet and you can physically see it now. So that's just a little bit about what I think an NFT is. And, you know, if Sean or Mike or any of you guys have anything to add to this specific slide, feel free to before I move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, an NFT is just kind of part of you almost in a sense too, when it comes to like the social media aspect of it and like meeting people and marketing and stuff like that. I mean, because like you do have the commercial rights to it, you can make it merch. I mean, a lot of people use their NFTs as their like social media profile pictures and stuff. Like a lot of big athletes are getting into that. We'll cover that a little bit later and stuff. A lot of everyone's getting into it, but
Right.
it's more than just a token and stuff, you know.
All right, so let's move on to the next slide. We're going to be getting into fungible.
Sorry, I had my mic muted.
Sean, did you want to talk?
Yes, I'm sorry. I think
All right,
something
yeah,
that we
perfect.
should take note of, earlier you mentioned something along the lines of having something in your house as like a personal collection and people wouldn't be able to see it. And then you mentioned something along the lines of me being across the United States and wanting to show you an NFT and you being able to view it. I think it's important for us to mention that there is a couple platforms that are quite literally virtual galleries where you can almost walk through them. I personally have one myself that I enjoy showing to a few of my friends where they can tap and walk around the whole gallery. There's plans for things such as the metaverse, which is just a virtual world where you're going to be able to have things like city blocks or physical art galleries or things like that, where it's another way to just express yourself and show your collections. And I think as NFTs develop more and more, we'll be able to see things like that become more and more common and more prevalent. I know there's some projects where people are making physical picture frames where you can display your NFTs and have them rotate and show the information on them. I think something like that might become more common as well to help us show off our collections.
Right.
But overall, I think Ty hit the nail right on the head when he compared them to Beanie Babies. Another thing someone could compare them to is CSGO skins. I don't know if many people here ever played Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but if they did, you might know of how lucrative the skins were. There were some that were just worth 10 cents because the community thought, oh, this isn't that impressive. But then there was such things like the Dragon Lore, which was a couple $1,000s at least, because the community viewed it as such as like a rare item and something that they wanted so badly. And I think that's something to consider every time you look at a different collection with NFTs, because not everything's the same. You could see something where it might just have a good value to a small group of people, but you might see something like the Bored Ape Yacht Club where it's worth several millions of dollars just because that group thinks, hey, this is such a great idea, I want to support it.
Right. Appreciate you guys chiming in. Let's move on to the next slide. We'll get into fungible versus non-fungible tokens. So as we come to realize, everyone, obviously we understand, as Arthur was saying earlier, we're entering a digital revolution, and there's no doubt that the blockchain is the ideal technology for management of digital assets of various types, you know? So non-fungible, I want you guys to understand, more or less means that it's unique and it can't be replaced with something else. So the most common examples of a fungible asset refer to currency and money. For example, a $5 bill is fungible because if two separate $5 bills hold the same exact value, so if I had a $5 bill and I gave one to Sean, it's still both worth the same exact value, and now we can go purchase something and still have that same value there. Another example would be gold. You know, gold is an example of fungible asset because 1 ounce of gold in a particular country, it would have the same value as an ounce of gold in another country. Now, what I want you guys to understand is a non-fungible, right? I want you to think of I don't know, a Jordan Fleer, what's that year? 1986 rookie card, right? So they may be present to some of like the outside world, but they're definitely not interchangeable, even if they look identical, right? There are distinguishing factors on a card that would tell them apart. Like, for example, the centering or the coloring, or maybe even the sharpness of the corners. It's basically one of a kind trading card, or NFT is basically non-fungible, because if you trade it for a different card, you literally have something completely different, So
Tyler, something that I want to add to what you're saying, which is great. The fact that we're entering, almost like a fourth industrial revolution, this digital revolution that we're going through. I want every one of you guys that are listening to this call right now, just understand, NFTs are the future, simply because of the fact that we're going digital. Everything is being digitalized. In the next 5-10 years, I guarantee you guys, we're going to have a central bank digital dollar, right? China's already launching their own central bank digital currency this year. They're going through testing. All these countries, they're digitalizing their entire economy. So moving forward, this industry, as Tyler has been, explaining throughout the entire call, we're still so early. And, this is how the future is planned. Everything is going digital. So NFTs it's almost like we're just digitalizing, what the past was. Like, history repeats in different ways. That's what Tyler's trying to explain throughout the call. And, as you guys know, that we're going digital, NFTs are the future. So yeah.
100%, but I appreciate that insight too. So back into like NFTs, right? So NFTs, I want you guys to understand, they feature a unique trait, that clearly imply restrictions for replacing or exchanging it with an identical token. So each NFT features, like I said, the unique trait. So even if two assets appear, they might appear identical, right? But the metadata on the non-fungible token is actually what provides it a stamp of authenticity that allows you to tell them apart. I have a creator in here. I don't know if he's still in here. Let me message him real quick. He's actually he's one of the creators to an upcoming project. He should be in here. Yep. All right. I'm gonna add him in right now, and we're gonna get some value on what it's like. So I asked Dylan to come in here. I actually met Dylan on Instagram. He's launching an NFT project called the Beatnik Tiki Tribe. So I asked him to come in here and speak to you guys about what it actually takes to create an NFT project. And I think you guys can obviously gain some value to hear from a creator's point of view. I just need to unmute him really quick. Hold on one second. Dylan.
Hey guys.
Dylan, can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you.
Awesome, man. Hey, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come here too.
A pleasure. No, it's been we launch on Wednesday at 3 p.m. UTC. So kind of crazy right now, but very happy to be here to talk to you.
Yeah, man. I look forward to the project too as well. I've seen you guys, obviously. I've seen your roadmap and your progress along the way, and I'm definitely gonna be I'm probably gonna be supporting your project for sure.
Amazing.
So I have a few questions that I wanted to ask you, and maybe you could answer them, and like I said, provide value to the viewers that are here today. So the first question I have for you, Dylan, is how did you actually get started in the NFT space as a creator? And tell us a little bit about your project.
Yeah, sure. So, this whole space really kind of sprung up literally months ago. Nobody was talking about NFTs, kind of 6 months ago. So it's all very new, and it's new to most of the people who are making NFTs as well, let alone buying them. But I think what was interesting was we saw an opportunity which blended art and technology and finance together in a really interesting way. And the members of our project have a really amazing blend of deep technical skills to actually build the back end that you were describing in your previous slide, or in this slide rather. We've got a great artist who can create something that's really exciting and interesting and compelling. And we've got people who can actually help create a community around that asset, and a community that really believes in it. And so that was what interested all of us, I think. And and then from that point, when you have all of those people kind of assembled, the question is simply, what's a really cool concept, and how do we bring it to life in a way that is just going to get people excited and is going to drive the market effectively. And so that's what we did. So there was no great sort of master plan around it. It was very sort of seat of the pants initially, but I'm very proud of what we've built. We've got a community of almost 5,000 people now on our Discord. We've got a lot of people very interested in collaborating with us. We've got a lot of people who are, I think, going to be with the project for the long haul. They're not just going to buy the token and try and flip it for a profit in the short term, which is really what you need when you're launching something like this. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree that you definitely don't want someone to obviously grab your project and be one of those guys that's just going to flip it right away. I mean, you want to kind of build a sense of community. So that kind of leads me on to my next question. What is your actual intention in the NFT space? Like, are you here to, share a story, share art? Are you here just to be successful, or, maybe create a following? Or are you here to really like build a community?
It's a really, really good question. So, my background is in branding. You spoke about branding a little earlier, and I was involved in creating all kinds of brands, everything from the current Starbucks brand to Taco Bell to Southwest Airlines, and branding is something that's you hit the nail on the head. It's kind of so intrinsic to human behavior. And what really interested me was when you have a community of people who have a stake in something and are committed to something, then you can do amazing stuff. And suddenly that thing becomes valuable. These NFT communities are a little like, when you think about the gold rush on the West Coast, in the 1800s, like, yes, it was the gold and the prospect of gold that drew people to the place, but at the same time, then, towns sprung up and economies sprung up around them. And it wasn't just about digging for gold. It was about doing all kinds of other things to create communities and to create something meaningful. And that's really what we're doing here in the virtual world. So, the Beatnik Tiki Tribe is we want it to be a really great investment. We want to be one of the blue chip projects, and I think we're that's how we're going to be seen post launch. But it's kind of about more than that, because if you're going to be successful, you have to have a long-term vision, and you have to think about, well, how are you actually going to build something really desirable and community orientated and creative and interesting around this? There are lots of ways to make money that but this is something that's, I think, as you said, pretty special and combines creativity, technology, and finance in a really unique way.
Yeah, definitely like how you're putting everything together too, for sure, man. Another quick question too. How many hours a week would you say that you've actually spent, building the project? Would you say that, it's a full-time job? And like, kind of what are the startup costs of like actually launching an NFT?
Yeah, so I would tell you that it could be a full-time job.
Yeah, I hear you for sure. There's definitely a lot of work for it.
Yeah, it could definitely be a full-time job if you let it be. I mean, there really is just so much to do, and you can fine-tune everything to the nth degree, and we're a team of 4 people, so we're leveraging the community as well. We have people on our Discord who are moderators and a council to help us look around at what other people are doing in the NFT space to make sure that we're keeping up, because we've got our heads down developing the project, so we're not necessarily seeing what's coming up in the market. So we've got great people who volunteer to do that. But to launch a project, it is a quality project is a very significant endeavor, and I could easily I spend a great deal of time doing this. It isn't, you know, what I do full time, but as I say, it really could be very easily, and it goes the same for my other three co-founders. You know,
Right.
it's a really tough thing to do. But what I would say is that, you know, if you have a great idea, particularly a great creative idea, and you can find somebody who can help, you know, on the technology side, and then you can perhaps find somebody who's going to support with the kind of growth and the management of your socials, then it is doable. You know, it's still a mountain to climb, but it is doable to launch your own project. I would encourage people who have, you know, an ambition to do that to, you know, to pursue it.
Yeah, so that literally is going to lead into my last question for you. So actually, if you, what advice, if you could, give to someone who, you know, was wanting to make an NFT and, you know, become a creator, or, you know, was really good at graphic designing and didn't know where to get started? You know, I guess, what advice would you leave to someone?
Yeah. Well, I'd say it's, you know, the design is one part of it. And these projects really require such a mixture of disciplines to come together that no one, you know, no one person can really deliver this end to end. You know, it's not enough to be a great designer. Neither is it good enough to be a great finance person. Neither is it good enough to be a great builder of technology. You know, you have to have all three. You know, and to add to that, you have to know how to build a virtual community. But you know, my advice would be, if you really have a vision, you know, for something you'd like to build, and you really believe in it, and you think it could be cool, and you kind of have researched how the mechanics of this work, because particularly for generative NFTs, there's you know, it's a pretty difficult thing as a designer to make a generative NFT that really sings. You know, I'd reach out to some of the people who are leading, you know, other projects that you like, and get their advice and see if they might like to, you know, take on your idea or collaborate with you. As I say, you do need all of those disciplines in the same place to be able to pull one of these off. But if you have that, then you know, anyone can do it, really.
Right. Well, Dylan, hey, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming on here, and hopefully everyone was able to get some value from you on what it takes to actually be a creator. I'm definitely looking forward to your release coming up this Wednesday. And I'll definitely be sharing that with all the people in my Discord as well.
Yeah, please do. I mean, we have a great community on Discord. Everybody is welcome, and I would encourage people to have a look at it. And if it's something you like and believe in, as I say, we're dropping on Wednesday, so hope to see you there.
Yeah, definitely. All you new NFT people, guys, if this is something that, you know, sounds interesting, you know, feel free to do some research on it, and maybe even you could reach out to Dylan on Instagram. Their Instagram handle is Beatnik Tikis. So you could just look them up. It's Beatnik_Tikis. I follow them. You can find them right on my page. But, you know, if this is something that you guys want to get into, and to get into an early NFT, that would be a great one to probably get involved with, you know?
Yeah.
So
Dylan on Twitter as well. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Dylan. Well, hey, I really appreciate you hopping on, and I wish you the best, and thanks again.
Thank you ever so much, Tyler. Good talking to you.
You as well, boss. Take care.
Bye.
All right. So common terms to know. Mike, do you want to go over this?
Sure, yeah, I'll go over this one.
All right.
All right, so these are some common terms for everyone who's new, because like when you're on Discord or Twitter or whatnot, or OpenSea, you can see a lot of stuff. And if you're new to crypto and NFTs, you're not going to know a lot of it. So that's Ethereum. That's simple. Floor price. So that's going to be whatever the cheapest thing is at the moment. So say you wanted to get a Bored Ape Yacht Club. The floor price of those, I think, is like 40 something. I don't know. It's in our slides later. But that would be the floor price, because that is the very cheapest one you could find to buy. Minting is when you buy a project as it's like releasing. So sometimes you can get like multiple at a time, or like sometimes they even have limits as to how many you can get, but you can generally get them all in like one transaction and save on gas, which is nice. Mint price just refers to how much it costs when it mint. And then NGMI is not going to make it. You're going to see that a lot on Twitter and Discord. If anyone says like, oh, I'm going to sell this, that, blah, 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 you'll probably see that a bunch, you know. I tell that to anyone who thinks NFTs aren't it. I mean, they're just not going to make it. Obviously, we're going to make it, WGMI. And yeah, that's that slide.
I'd like to add a few to this. You're going to hear a lot about gas when you're talking about NFTs. You might hear some people talking about it in a common positive annotation. You might hear people talking about it in a really negative annotation. Gas is basically just something that we're going to go over later in the slides, and it's more or less just the cost of a transaction fee. So every time you do a transaction, you got to pay a gas price with Ethereum. And
It's like paying the tax on stuff, you know what I mean?
So more or less, I'll go over this more later as we will in the slides, but basically if there's a lot of network activity, you're going to have to pay more for gas because there's more strain on the network, and they want to kind of discourage people from using it as much. So they set the price at a higher thing. As you get more experience with NFTs, you can kind of set your own gas price. I know that OpenSea and other platforms kind of have a set low, fast, or medium setting for gas, but we'll go over that more later. I just wanted to make sure people knew that gas was going to be a term that they heard quite a bit when referring to NFTs.
Definitely. I actually lost some money in gas yesterday, but we'll get into that. All right. So we're going to talk about some credible figures entering the NFT space. So Sean, if you want, you can go first on Steph.
So I'm sure many of you know who Steph Curry is. He's a very famous basketball player. Recently, he changed his Twitter avatar to a Bored Ape Yacht Club, the little blue one right here on the left. I'm not too sure what he paid for it, but I'm aware that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is one of the more expensive NFT collections out there right now. He paid at least 40 Ethereum for that. And at the current moment, one Ethereum is about $3,000, give or take a little bit. So that's just to give you a frame of reference how big that is. And just a little bit before we started this call, he purchased one of the Rumble League Kongs, which is basically something where it's a 3v3 NFT basketball game that they plan on releasing in the future that will have sports betting and viewable options. I know Mike's going to touch on that quite a bit later as we go through the slides, so I'm not really going to cover that too much, but it's just showing that athletes are slowly starting to adapt and adopt NFTs and use them as social media avatars and things of that nature.
Yeah, I just looked it up. He paid 55 ETH, which is roughly a little bit over $175,000, by the way.
For the
so just for that little Bored Ape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So going into Mark Cuban.
All right, so Mark Cuban has a massive NFT collection. He's been very bullish on crypto and NFTs for, well, not NFTs for a long time, but crypto, and he's been an early supporter of NFTs and stuff. Here's just a few that he owns. His portfolio, if you guys want to look through it later, because the link's in here, I'm pretty sure we're going to share the slides with you guys.
Yeah, everything's going to be shared today.
Yeah, his portfolio is absolutely massive. Like I think he has like 600 or 700 NFTs, if I'm correct, and most of them are very like blue chip, high quality NFTs that are already like have great community. You know, they're built up, they have a good floor price. But yeah, those are some of the ones he has. So like the Crypto Cannabis Club, for example. I mean, we'll touch on that one later, but that's one of the cheaper ones that he has. That's kind of cool, and a few of us are into that one as well and invested in that one, so we thought it was notable. But that's about it from that.
All right, so I'll talk about Budweiser a little bit. Am I echoing at all, or am I good?
No, you're good.
All right, perfect. So Budweiser, so obviously everyone knows what Budweiser is. I mean, not my favorite beer, but you know. So they used 120,000 to purchase fan NFT art. And they actually bought a domain called beer.eth. And actually, according to the records from OpenSea, the beer producer Budweiser, they purchased a Tom Sachs factory rocket back on August 24th for 8 Ethereum, which is roughly 25,000. And now Budweiser actually used the life of the party image featuring the 3 beer cans making up the body of the rocket. So if you look at this picture right here, right, you'd be surprised that this is actually 3 separate NFTs. So like you can see that the bottom is cut off by a base, and then you have the middle, and then you have the top. So all 3 of these are actually going to be sold as one in like 3 different separate pieces, right? So what that means is once you buy all 3 of them, you can finally put a rocket together. Now, you didn't actually have to buy these 3 specifics. You could have bought, for example, they had one that was a Ferrari. They had one that's obviously the Budweiser. And I think another one is, I think they have Trojan condoms or something. But like, for example,
They had like Wonder Bread, they had everything.
yeah, they Skippy peanut butter. But if you wanted to, you could make a unique rocket and like, you buy 3 different ones and you put those 3 together. That would be a way that you could do that. So that would be Budweiser. Let me see.
Before we go on, everyone should look up that Tom Sachs Rocket Factory project. I'm pretty sure they're actually launching models of all your rockets you build based on the specs of what NFTs you have. And then your rocket, I think you lose those NFTs, but then I think you get a video of the launch as your NFT. It's just a pretty cool, unique project. I tried getting in on it. I lost out on gas. We'll talk about that with Gas Wars later, but I just want to throw that out there.
It's definitely a unique project and something to kind of pay attention to as you see kind of happen. More and more projects are slowly starting to try to include some utility that sets them apart from other projects. I think this might be one of the more unique ones I've seen lately, but I'm sure there's other ones that have as big of a unique draw to them.
All right, what just happened? Here we go. All right, so talking about FaZe Banks a little bit, right? So the reason that we're actually talking about all these influencers and high credible people is because I like to call it following the money. We're following people that have lots of money and they're entering into this space. So what I like to say about FaZe Banks is obviously he has a really, really good influence over the market. He actually has over 8 punks. I don't know if he still holds all 8 of them. He might have sold. I know he sold one of them for, I think 720 something thousand. And he earns. Yeah, see, he earned. It was 725,000, and he told all of his followers actually that he urges you guys to actually get involved in this space. He's not telling you to sit there and he's not trying to convince you to buy it. I mean, just like I'm trying to do too. I'm not going to sit here, like I said earlier, and I'm not going to try to convince you to buy an NFT. I mean, it's up to you guys to do your due diligence.
It's more of a persuasion to
exactly. All I can do is give you guys information, and it's up to you guys what you guys do with it. So
honestly, we all get hit up so often, like, yo, what's an NFT? What is this you're tweeting about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I keep seeing these pop up. Like, it just made sense to do a big presentation, kind of.
I think I can speak for all of us when I say our general hope with this is just to be able to not only get more people exposed to what NFTs are, but also kind of expose and help people get jump started with their journey in NFTs. Because I think it's something that it's one of those things where I'm personally trying to get all my friends interested in it, just because I think it's one of those things kind of like Bitcoin was back when it was only $5,000 for one token. Like that's kind of where we are at with NFTs right now. It may not seem it because there's a lot of very high prices that you see people throwing around and a lot of complex terms that might seem difficult at first. But in all honesty, it's one of those things where you're just going to be putting yourself ahead of the game by learning about it and trying to participate in it, no matter how small of a participation it is. I've seen NFTs for $25 or less. I've seen NFTs for couple hundred, couple thousands. Like it's one of those things where if you really want to participate, you can.
Yeah, not to interrupt, but there's only roughly, I think, 125,000 wallets on OpenSea, which is the NFT marketplace basically for secondhand, or at least the biggest one. And I know for a fact so many people have multiple wallets themselves. So there's probably closer to only like 90 or 80,000 people on OpenSea right now. So it doesn't seem early because prices can be high still, but like everything's still really early.
But like, guys, if you remember what Arthur said earlier too about the cryptocurrency, Arthur said that we're still early with cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency has been around for a little bit now. So if you think that, this is early, I mean, this is like brand new, I mean, this is a great time to jump into it and try to learn as much as you possibly can. These next few slides that we're going to be going over are going to be really, really important. So these are going to be the futures that we believe where we see NFTs in the next 5 to 10 years. So for me personally, I think, like I said earlier, people misunderstand the utility nature of smart contracts. I personally believe in the next 15 years that, I don't know if you guys saw on my stories, but I bought 348 copies of Gary Vee's book. And I called a bunch of my friends that I'm really, really close to, and I actually had them do the same. I posted it on my story. Hopefully you guys did the same. But basically the way that works is Gary launched a book, right? And every 12 books that he sold, he's basically going to be airdropping you an NFT once those are released to you and delivered to your house. So with, I think I spent a little under 10 grand, but so what that means is I'm going to get 29 airdrops. Now, if you guys know about VeeFriends, I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but that's Gary Vee's NFT project. The last time Gary Vee launched that project, right, they retailed for almost $2,000 and they were flipping for $60,000. So Gary Vee talks a lot about how he was like basically creating life-changing opportunities for people in this marketplace. And he was doubted, believe it or not, by a lot of people. A lot of people said, hey, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to produce. And, he was able to do it. So basically what I'm trying to get into is with the books, right? With the actual aspect of the books. I believe in the next 15 years that you're going to see authors. Nobody's actually going to be able be writing a book with a publisher. Instead, I think they're going to be doing it through an NFT infrastructure. Also, what I believe is that in the next 15 years, think about the music industry. If you guys know anything about Tory Lanez, he actually just released an NFT with his last album. I believe in the next 15 years that you're going to see that nobody is going to launch a record by having a record label, give them a bag. At the end of the day, they're going to be the ones that are going to go launch this, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to collect a royalty on every sale that they make, instead of now having that other middleman being the record label or the publisher, cutting into their profits. So one thing that I think about the record label is that they could even get crowdfunding by selling the NFTs. And like I said, they're going to gain a percentage on every sale through royalties. One thing that's really, really interesting, I think that if you guys think about concerts, right, and basketball games, there's literally over $1 trillion worth of ticket stubs that are sold every, there's 1 trillion ticket stubs that are sold. I believe it was the last 25 years is what it was. They were sold on eBay, and all of those sales actually get sent back to the in royalties of the person, right? So what you guys need to understand here is in the next 10 years, I think what you're going to start seeing is that every sporting event and concert, they're going to start releasing their tickets as NFTs, because there's really no incentive for that organization and the artists or, the people to really launch it as anything but an NFT. Because think about the way we're getting a QR code or a piece of paper, right? It literally means nothing. But I want you to think about if LeBron James, you go to a basketball game and LeBron James scores 100 points, right? Now you have that digital token and that digital NFT that now becomes a rare collectible. And now 10, 15 years from now, you can still hold that token in your OpenSea wallet, in your Metamask, and you'll be able to like just basically display that to people and use that as almost a flex and say it's a forever collectible. I know my dad, he collects tons and tons and tons of baseball cards. And what I think that what they would start doing now is all of these new baseball players, right? Yeah, the Topps cards, those are great and all right, and they resell for unbelievable value. But I think that what you're going to start seeing is all of these digital tokens start to become tokenized and come out into the NFT marketplace. And now one other thing that I just want to add that I think that is going to be a really big thing coming into the future. I'm not really sure how it's going to integrate it, but I just wanted to bring it up just so, you know, it's in your head and you're thinking about it. You know, think about real estate. Think about real estate and a unique property. So if you know, for example, maybe you got a house on an island and it's a $10 million house and it's completely unique. I'm not saying it's got to be that expensive or anything like that, but that's just the example. I think that you need to think about that becoming a smart contract. I think that would definitely be something that's going to eventually become unrolled in this space. So that's where I see NFTs going into the future. Sean, Mike, if you guys see anything too, feel free to add it. Now would be the time.
So I've recently heard of something. I'm not 100% sure how soon it will be implemented or not, but I heard of companies like Louis Vuitton will start using NFTs to validate and show authenticity of high-end products. So I'm aware that I'm not fully involved in it, but I'm aware that with sneakers reselling and other clothing items like that that are high-end, there's a sense of authenticity that people prefer to have, and just to show that, hey, I have the real item, I don't have a knockoff or something like that. I believe companies like Louis Vuitton are going to start including a thing that you scan at the bottom of your receipt that basically gives you an online NFT that validates, hey, I bought this product right here. It shows that I bought it on this date, and this is my way of showing that it's an authentic product. So say for some reason you resold that Louis Vuitton piece of clothing, you could transfer that NFT to the new owner. They'd be able to see, hey, I have an authentic product. I don't have to worry about being a knockoff, which in the end kind of creates more value for those products because the consumer doesn't really have to worry about finding a knockoff or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if in 10 years from now, basically every form of legal paper or something like that was an NFT, just based on how you'd be able to track the lifespan of it and just show that, hey, it was created here, these people have interacted with it, and it's been used for this thing right here, and this is its intent because of the way NFTs are able to be shown and how the contracts work for them.
Right.
But overall, I think that's kind of all I see that you didn't really touch on. I think Mike might have a few other things that he sees in the future, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think they could definitely implement some with NFTs too for like limited stuff, not even just like clothes and stuff, but like say like the new like Xbox, PS4 and all that. I mean, they sell out instantly and just get resold. They could implement NFTs and figure out a way to not allow, you know, one person to purchase multiple, you know?
All right, so this is where you guys are really going to want to take notes. This is going to be like more of a walkthrough for you guys on like how to actually do it. So this is going to be how to get started. Sean, do you want to do this one?
Sure. So the biggest thing to try to make sure you do before you even attempt to buy an NFT is you want to make sure you own a crypto wallet and you are familiar with an exchange that you can buy cryptocurrency on. Earlier, Ty touched on the Coinbase and what it was and how it was basically just an exchange that you can use to buy currency. But the thing is, you can't use an exchange to permanently hold currency and hold NFTs. I mean, more or less, you could use an exchange to hold an amount of coin, but realistically, one would want to prefer to keep it in a wallet just for more safekeeping and not have to worry about it as much. So the most common wallets that I hear about or even see used for my friends are Metamask, Coinbase wallet, and Trust wallet. I personally use Metamask wallet and the Metamask wallet extension for Google Chrome. I think that it has a very easy to understand UI, and overall it's one of those things that I found it and it works. So I don't really have any flaws with it or any complaints. I will say though that just the initial learning how to use a crypto wallet might be a little confusing to some, but overall it's a very small learning curve, and everyone in this call is more than willing to try to help with getting started if they have any questions.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is at the end of the call, we're gonna drop our Discord link, and I'm pretty sure Sean already did. We're gonna obviously remove the people that were flooding up the Discord or the call in the beginning. But I think if any
Blocked most of them already.
Yeah, if any of you guys have any actual questions in terms of like setting up these wallets, how to navigate through them, I'm not going to really spend too much time showing you guys how to do that aspect of things. But if any of you guys have questions in regards to that, feel free to reach out. Me, Sean, and Mike are happy to help you guys.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
going to get into the OpenSea.
Also, I think we have plans for on the Discord for there just to be a general chat room for just general questions. So if at any time you're in the Discord and you have a question, just toss it in there at the nearest convenience. I'm sure either myself, Mike, maybe even Tyler will be able to help answer that question.
Perfect. So this is going to be the main, I'm actually going to get off of the PowerPoint and actually go over to OpenSea to show you guys and walk you guys through this. But just a quick rundown before I do that. So actually buying NFTs, like Sean was saying, so OpenSea is probably the most common, but you can actually buy NFTs from, for example, super rare, rareable, or mintable. But just for this purpose, we're going to be talking about the most common used platform, which is OpenSea. So OpenSea is a peer-to-peer marketplace for crypto collectibles and non-fungible tokens. It includes collectibles, gaming items, and other virtual goods, basically backed by the blockchain. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to a different tab. Let's see. Should be able to go right here. You guys see that one?
It's still showing the Zoom.
Oh,
not
it
the
is.
Zoom, the PowerPoint.
All right, yeah, no worries. Share that. Can you guys see that now?
Yeah, we can see Google.
All right, perfect. So we're gonna go over to OpenSea, right? So OpenSea, you're literally it's gonna pop up like this. OpenSea, we're gonna go to the home page, right? So if you didn't have your account connected already, this is what it would pop up with right here. So what you would do once you have a MetaMask account, you would go to this top right corner. It's gonna look a little different on the iPhone view. Me personally, I recommend doing it on a computer view. I think it's a little better. But what you're gonna do in the top right is gonna be where you connect your wallet. So you'll click this button, this MetaMask will pop up and you'll just connect your wallet right here. From there, that's getting you ready to actually go buy NFTs. And obviously you need Ethereum to be able to go do this. There is other exchanges that you can use, but the most common one is Ethereum. And for this purpose, we're going to be just discussing Ethereum. What you do, so we're just going to run through this really quick. I'm not going to get really too big into this. OpenSea. So if you ever wanted to search a collection or a project that you found out, maybe you saw a link on Twitter, you would literally just search it in right here. And for an example, we're just going to use Rumble Kongs. So for example, Rumble Kongs, you see this blue check right here. This means that this particular collection is verified. It's just like, Instagram verification or anything like that. It just shows you that they're legit, because there are some projects. I got screwed the other day. If we'll look it up actually. So I'll show you guys. This is, nope.
Just so people are aware, the blue check mark isn't something that one can just kind of ask for. I'm pretty sure the blue check mark means there was a certain volume of Ethereum.
Yeah, it's 100,000 Ethereum or 100 Ethereum in volume traded, or there's something else they can do too.
Yeah, it's not as simple as the Instagram thing where it's, hey, I have enough of this, I can.
So this is where this is important though, because this is like this is where they verify collections too. So like the other day, I actually lost $600 trying to mint this collection and buy it. Because when I looked it up, right, I got sent a link and it actually sent me to the exact website of where the company was. Now, I don't say this to scare you guys. I just say it so you guys know, and you guys know going forward, so you don't make the same mistake that I did. So like, for example, if we clicked on Atom Bomb Squad official, right, there's 22 items and we see at the floor, I'll get into all this later, but we see that this probably isn't the same as if we go to the one. Hold on one. Wow, dude, So if we went to this one, right, we see that this one, it has 25,000 items and we have a really high floor, right? So that's just something to be in mind when you're searching up stuff here. Make sure you're actually clicking on the right project. Right here, this is going to be your marketplace tab. This is going to be basically all the different types of NFTs that you can get involved with. You like art, obviously they got art ones, they got music ones, they got sport ones, you know, they got all different types of categories for you to pick and choose from. Find something that you like and go with it. Stats here, these are going to be really important for you in terms of rankings. So what this is going to help you do is if you were ever looking for a project that was like doing really well the last week, you can obviously go here and say, all right, well, here's the volume. So this volume right here in the middle is going to mean how much Ethereum is actually being traded in the last 7 days with that particular project. Obviously with the 24 hours, that's going to be how much the project has decreased in Ethereum value. 7 days, it would be obviously how much it's increased. Floor price, the reason that you can't see the crypto punks floor price is because you can't actually buy them on OpenSea. You have to buy them directly through Larva Labs. Now what this means, right? So if we looked at the Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs, right? We have a 6.8 ETH floor. So 6.8, right? And we figure, I don't know the price of Ethereum off the top of my head, but if we said it was roughly 3,000, right? That's 6.8. What you guys need to read that as is that's going to read 6.8 times 3,000. So that means that the cheapest one in this particular collection is going to be 20,400. So this is going to tell you how many owners actually own the project. And then this is going to tell you exactly how many actual NFTs are released in the project. So if we clicked on this, for example, right, we just click Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs. I know these are really expensive too, but we're just using it as an example, right? So it's going to give you a quick description, obviously, what the project is, maybe how many tokens there are, and maybe a little roadmap behind them. This particular project doesn't have it at the top right, so I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use the Sup Ducks. I actually own a Sup Duck. So with this one, right, if you look at the top right here, you have there's a tab that says activity, you have a tab that says website, you have a tab for Discord, and a tab for Twitter. All of these are going to be really important because when you're looking at a project trying to figure out, oh, is this going to be a good buy, or is this a good project? Basically, you want to go and just basically feel them out. So one thing that I like to do is I like to just go and click on their Twitter, see how they're active. They got 19.1K followers, 750 tweets, but like something you want to just look at is just see how active their Twitter is. So like if they're tweeting a lot and, they're involved with their community, that's probably going to be a good project to get involved with. And another one is going to be their Discord. Your Discord on every single project that I've bought into, I join their Discord and I make sure that I constantly staying involved with people and just talking to people. You guys can still see my screen, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So back to OpenSea, right? So these are just a few of the tabs right here that are going to be really important. We could go to the actual company's website, right? So if we went here, this is going to be the website where if you originally got one of these and you minted it, this would be where you would go. You would connect your wallet to an actual website, and then you could click right here where it says single duck, triple duck, duck squad. You could have bought one of these ducks for 0.1 ETH. Now, 0.1 ETH is probably, I don't know, I'm just going to take a guess, maybe like $200-300 maybe. Probably around the $300 range.
350, 320.
Yeah, so if you think about this, right, you could pay $300 and something. And if we go back to this right here, we look at the floor price, 1.25. So 1.25, that means you could have minted this on the day that this released for 0.1, meaning $300. And now you could have waited and sat on it and looked at the floor price right now, and it's literally selling for 1.25 ETH. So a way to figure out what the floor price is. I don't like to pay attention to a lot of these. What this pink symbol means right here is that's wrapped Ethereum. And all that is basically converting Ethereum into wrapped Ethereum to be able to place bids on the OpenSea, because you can't place bids on, for example, I'll show you right now. So if we went to this left sidebar right here, right? We could go to all the different filters that are going to be filtered in this actual project. So we could see what's on auction, what has offers, what's new, and what's buy new or buy now. I like to just go to buy now because this is where the floor is. We got a 1.27 duck, right? So that means they're the cheapest, right? These are the cheapest ducks because I have the prices going from low to high. But say I wanted to switch them maybe from high to low, I'm not saying that these ducks are going to sell for that, but these are what they're priced at. And if we just clicked on this one, 8,136,000 for this duck. I'm not saying it's going to sell for that, but that's just what people have them listed at for here. So when we go to all items, right, this is actually really interesting. I learned this a few days ago. When you're buying NFTs on the OpenSea, you can buy these as single items, or if you were a seller, right, and you had, for example, maybe 5 ducks and you wanted to do a bundle deal, you could do a bundle. And maybe, yeah, so maybe this is priced at 41 Ethereum, right? And it comes with 3 different ducks. So these 3 ducks are all going to come in this bundle. So that would just be a filter if you ever wanted to buy more than one. And, maybe a lot of the times you ain't going to get a deal on these bundles. Most of them, they're selling for way over market value, but that's kind of where that is. In terms of everything over here, I don't really I don't play around with too much of these, the traits in terms of like buying, unless I'm actually trying to compare one of mine. So like, let's just go, for example, if we were to go to my duck, right? My duck is right here. So you can see that I paid 0.24 about a month ago, right? So I bought it on August 5th. So what I wanted to tell you though about the duck, right? So if I wanted to click on this duck and I wanted to go buy a duck, I'm going to click here and you're going to imagine that this is just on the OpenSea and we're going to go to properties, right? So these properties are going to give you what makes the duck rare. It's like I was saying earlier, like what makes the non-fungible token its own unique type of asset. It's all these different properties are going to make them each their own unique trait. And even if the ducks, like I said, they look similar, right? This is what ultimately this contract address and this token ID, this ultimately is what makes these their own value. So like I have questions where people ask me, why can't I just take this picture and, go copy and paste it and, just hang it on my wall? You absolutely can do that 100%. But think about this, think about the Mona Lisa, right? The one original copy. Can you go, go copy it and, go put it on your wall? Absolutely. But is it going to be the original one? No. So this is held the original one because of this specific contract and unique token ID. So that's kind of getting into that. Those will be the details. I'm just trying to go. Let me see what else I could show you guys on the OpenSea. Sean and Mike, also, if you guys want to voice in too, if you guys think that I could show them something on here where I might be missing, feel free to do that as well.
So 2 things or a few things that I might want you to point out. Quickly go to the stats page just because that's kind of useful to know about.
And then today.
Earlier, Mike mentioned, Ty mentioned how there was a couple little links at the top of the collection page, like the Discord, the website, and the Twitter. I think those are really useful because those are the Twitter and the Discord are going to be what you most commonly see NFT collections posting about their new information. Like you could see things about new drops, you could see new things in the community like giveaways. I know a lot of communities do several giveaways either within their own community's project, or they might say, hey, we like this project that another person that we know of is doing. We're going to give away this after this little Twitter giveaway or something. Just do these few things. I think it's kind of useful just to occasionally check that each day, just so you kind of stay in the loop of what's going on. And I just wanted to mention on the stats page is kind of a good thing to check, because even if you're looking at like on the stats page, there's 2 different tabs you can use. There's the top NFTs where it tells you like the rankings. Then there's also an activities tab. If you click the activities tab, you can see an active list of people selling things or people listing things, depending on how you do it. I've had a few occasions where I've just had that open while sitting there and I noticed, hey, this thing is selling maybe 30 or 40 different of this one collection right now. this might be a good idea to look at or look more into. And I ended up being able to make 2 or 3 quick flips just from being able to notice that one little thing on the activity tab. If you look at specific collections instead of just the stats page on the main homepage, you can usually just see the sales and the listings within that one collection. So you might notice, if he looks at the Atom Bomb Squad, you might notice some people are listing them at a set price and it's just a bunch of people. Or you might notice that there's one wallet buying a bunch of these, just sweeping the floor and trying to make it so the floor price goes higher. Like, there's just little things that you might notice over time that just kind of help you play a factor in what you might purchase or you might want to stay away from.
One other thing that I want to add to that too. So we're going to get into it too. Like you guys remember us telling you about how a lot of these credible people are starting to become involved into this space. I'm going to get into it a little bit later, but one thing that I just wanted to show you guys real quick. So for example, Ricky Banks, like we were talking about earlier, FaZe Banks, he's someone that has like a really big name in this NFT game right now. So like, for example, I like to call it following the money, like I said, and it's literally just following people that, you know, they're around the right people. And I like to say it to everybody, you know, your net worth is worth your net worth. You know, you are who you surround yourself with. So think about the people that Ricky's able to surround himself and the type of connections that he has, where, you know, I like to call it basically insider information. So if he's able to, you know when this is going to happen or when this is going to happen, you know, obviously you want to follow what he does and just put your money where he puts it. But I'm not just using him in specific. There's multiple people that are examples of that. You could even use Mark Cuban or any of the other people that we listed. But Ricky's just had some great success in this atmosphere. So I want to show you guys really quick. So if I typed in this, right, and I would typed in Ricky, right? So this is him right here. I go on his page. So if I ever wanted to figure out what Ricky was buying, obviously you could look right here and see what's in his actual wallet. But a little trick that a lot of people don't understand on how to do is, obviously, yeah, the projects here are probably really good on what he bought. And you might want to look into getting into some of those. I actually saw that he bought the sup ducks here. So that was like one of the reasons why I bought them. I actually bought them for 0.24, like I said earlier. And I think I haven't sold them yet, but I think it's almost worth $5,000 now. So that 0.24, I think it was almost like $600 turned into $5,000. But so the way I was able to figure this out though, too, what you can figure out in Banks's wallet or anyone's wallet in general, yeah, he might favorite some that he hasn't bought yet. But a really cool thing is you can go into his activity and you can literally see everything that he does, because in your actual collectible item, in your collectible wallet, you can actually hide these. Like I have some NFTs that I was just, you know, gifted for free that, you know, aren't really like rare or anything like that. It's like, you know, it's like that Instagram page where you want to just post that elite credible content. It's kind of how this OpenSea page looks, you know, you only want to display your best of the best. So where you would be able to see everything that he does though, you could go to his activity and you can literally see. So he bought this right here. He bought this 4 hours ago for 1.98 ETH. Now, I know this particular project, and I know that this was actually a really good buy for him. He's actually probably going to make some really good money there. But you could look at that as an indicator, and you could say, okay, 4 hours ago, Ricky's buying this, and I should probably go look into this project. So if we wanted to do that, right, we would go click on this project, and we could click Creature World. And, you know, the floor is 1.69. So he paid a little bit more than what the floor is worth. And I think these were released 2 days ago or something like that. But obviously you can see that there's a lot of traction going on in this page, and a way to be able to view what's going on would just be to like I said, go to their Twitter, go to their website, and just really find out what they're doing. Talk to the people that are involved in the spaces. And I think that it could go a long way for you guys. Obviously you can see some of these too, where it says just like transfer. I mean, you can literally, like, a fun thing about this, like one thing that I could do with like Sean or Mike or any one of you guys, I'm actually going to be doing it at the end of the live. I'm going to be giving away one of my NFTs to one lucky winner here. And all you basically do is you literally just transfer it to a different wallet. So as long as you have that Ethereum address or that name of the person, all you have to do is just transfer it right to them, and you pay a gas fee, which we'll get into a little bit later, but you pay like a $15 to $20 gas fee, and it would just transfer to them right away. So a lot of people, they just gift banks and I don't know, for example, maybe even Logan Paul or all different types of influencers that, people are going to be checking their wallet. They try to basically transfer these to these people because people like me now and are going to go view this and say, okay, maybe this is a good project. Maybe this isn't a good project. But now it shows up in their inbox, it shows up on their page. So like if this was the Caspi one, if this was never transferred over to Ricky, we would never be looking at this right now. We would never even know what Capsi is. So that's just like a way to be able to view things. Like, for example, if I wanted to get some traction on these, which they're absolutely dead, but this was actually my first NFT I purchased were the cockatoos, right? They aren't worth anything whatsoever, but it was just a really cool thing that got me involved in the space. And
It's
like
not showing anything right now, just to let you know.
It's not showing my screen.
Oh, it is now.
Oh. Is it showing it or no?
It just shows
Yeah,
a
it
white
is.
screen for me.
Oh, I see a screen. It's just like the five
Okay, my bad.
cockatoos.
Yeah. That's what I screen them on. But yeah, anyway, the way it would work though. So like, what's cool though is like, once you guys really get involved into this space and, you maybe have some more money to be really able to buy whatever you want. Like you could literally, someone's birthday is coming up, hey, I'm going to gift you an NFT, or, hey, I'm just going to gift you a random NFT to, hey, have a good day today. I just think that aspect of things, to be able to send stuff to people now, is really, really cool. I had a friend send me this, my fucking pickle. That one, hey, you never know where it's going to go either, but he gifted that to me because he got it in a bundle deal, and I helped him get started with NFTs. So, it's really cool to, get into this space and just to see what can actually, what you can do and what you can make out of it. Do you guys have, Sean or Mike, do you guys have anything you think I should add in terms of OpenSea before I go back to the PowerPoint?
I think you hit OpenSea pretty good, but in addition to kind of like the networking and people gifting stuff, it's not even uncommon. I've been in the scene for literally a month and 2 days since I bought my first NFT. I have 12 NFTs. Two of them actually were gifts given to me.
This was the glasses I have. That was a free gift. This dancing punk. I mean, I have a bunch of them, but it really, really isn't uncommon, because when you guys are talking to people in these spaces, and you guys are involved with Twitter, and you guys are involved with Discord, and you guys are keeping up with like-minded people that are in these spaces, it's almost like you have like an online identity. And, a lot of people, if you can, portray yourself the right way and really like just get involved and just network with different people, you'd be surprised at the friends that you can make and the relationships that you can build. I mean, I've personally, put it this way, I've never even met Mike and Sean, and here we are, we're hosting a NFT Zoom call, we just met through NFTs, and, it's just.
Like we talk a good multiple times every day. Like we're always talking NFTs, crypto, just
yeah.
talking.
So I think one big thing for all of you guys too, when we're going to give you guys an invite link to our Discord. So we're going to be able to really like just put you guys around like-minded people, and everyone that wants to get involved with this space is going to really have a safe place to do it. And you guys are really going to have all the help that you guys need. I'm going to get off of the OpenSea now. I don't think there's really anything more I need to cover. The one thing I could show you how to do really quick. Let me see. So I'm not going to buy it, but I'll just show you. If I wanted to do, let's just do the subducts, right? I don't even think I have enough ETH in it for it. But anyway, if we wanted to buy this, right? If we wanted to buy this duck, all you literally do when you're going to buy something is you're going to go, like I said, search up that project. and then whatever project it is, obviously do your due diligence, see what makes it good, or what makes it unique. And then in terms of buying something, I like to buy stuff that I like. I like stuff that like has a nice appearance. I don't know, something that like would look good in my wallet or that would represent me. So I like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Traits they're really cool, but they don't mean everything at the end of the day. And I'll get more into that a little later on. But if we were to buy this right here, right, we would click on this. I don't know if let me know if it doesn't show the screen.
I can see it.
All right. So yeah, so you would click on this, right? So you could hit a buy now right now, and it would buy right now for $3,902. Obviously, that's a little expensive. But if you had it, you could buy that right now. Or if you want, you can make an offer. So you make an offer, but you can't make an offer with the Ethereum that I currently have. I don't tend to make offers. I try to buy at the floor, just because a lot of the times you'll see the floor if you buy the right project, the floor is bound to go up. But like I said, not all of them are going to do that. So you can make the offer if you'd like. I have a couple offers down here. Like I have a $3,500 offer. I have a $3,100 offer. Like I could accept these offers if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Like
that one was your duck too.
Oh, well, yeah, this isn't my duck in particular.
Yeah.
But like I had these on mine, but like you can accept these offers as they come in. So if I was to buy that, right, that's how I would do that. I would hit buy now. It would go to checkout, and then, then something in the right top corner. It's not going to show you on the Zoom call because it's MetaMask, but it would pop up in the top right corner with the gas. And that is literally, you would just hit confirm, or if you don't like what your gas price is at, just, refresh it or reject it or so on. But we're going to get more into gas in the next few slides. But I'm going to bring it back to the PowerPoint, and we're going to get off OpenSea. But if you guys have any more questions in regards to the OpenSea, more than happy to help you guys too. We can go over that more in depth. We're going to go over back to the PowerPoint. Let me know, Mike or Sean, if it's all good.
If you have any questions as we're going through this, it might just be best for you to write them down on the side, just so as we get to the question and answer part towards the end, we can kind of systematically try to go through them with everyone. I just don't want people to have a question and then forget about it by the time we get to the end.
We're going to be doing a live Q&A as well. So if you guys have anything that you want to bring out, just save it till the end, and we'll be more than happy to answer everything.
You can also always post it in the Discord, and I'll try to answer as we go through if I'm not talking.
Perfect. And Mike, if you can, do me a favor, because I can only do this with the people that are actually live in the call. Do me a favor while we're just wrapping up, getting towards.
Make sure they're all still in.
Well, no, just make sure that you have the names, and make sure you just send them to me on Discord, because I'm going to be running a little raffle to see.
I just assigned everyone's name and number.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
So I'll just give you the numbers, but there's 44, but I think that's wrong now. I think some people left.
Okay.
So I'm
perfect.
Gonna
I just want to make sure everyone's accounted for.
Yeah.
We're going to do that towards the end of the
call. Too many numbers, we could just spin it again,
Yeah, we'll be good. All righty. So we're going to go over to the next slide. So adding ETH to your crypto wallet, that's pretty simple. I kind of discussed that in the beginning about Coinbase, just buying it right from your bank account, or you could do like the MoonPay through the MetaMask, but we kind of already covered that. So Sean,
quick thing to note. Someone asked a question in the Discord while we were doing this. When you pay with MoonPay, it is going to add the money to your account, and it's not going to do the transaction for you. So say you want to go buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club because you, for some reason, found a lump sum of money. If you wanted to do that with MoonPay, you'd have to do the MoonPay transaction, and then the money would be in your Ethereum wallet. Then you'd have to initiate the new transaction to buy the actual device, like NFT, instead of just assuming that it's just a one-click transaction. I just wanted to throw that out there because there was someone who had that question in the Discord during that.
Yeah, it's a good question. Thanks for asking too. So we're going to move on to the next slide. Sean, if you want, you can take this one away. We kind of went over a lot of that on the OpenSea, but if you have anything to add, obviously feel free.
So generally where I typically find the most NFTs or where I find most new projects. I find that if you follow the core projects that you slowly find over time and start to believe in, for example, I follow the Bones Club, I follow Rumble Kong League, I follow the Crypto Cannabis Club, and a few others, I'll find that if I just kind of browse their Twitter or their Discord long enough, they typically shout out another project that the owner or the creator of the project might believe in or want to participate in themselves. So I've found countless projects like, I want to say from the Rumble Kongs, I was able to find the collection called 24px because someone in the chat was talking about that. I was able to use the 24px info that I got and make a few quick flips because I was able to find some NFTs that were about $25 each. I ended up selling one of them for $1,700 a couple days after, so I was pretty happy with that. It's just one of those things where if you stay involved in a community, you're more than likely to just have a couple of different projects just placed in front of you at one point or another.
Right. And when you say get involved too, what I want you guys to really understand too, that doesn't mean like, a lot of people go to the gym for a week and, they'll stop like a week later and just be like, oh, why didn't I get results? This isn't something, like I said, you're not going to come in here and you're not just going to get rich quick. So I've had some people where, they've gotten lucky, some people have made really good money right off the bat. I can tell you straight off, I did not have that luck. As you saw, I bought a bunch of cockatoos, but it was just my way of getting involved in the space. And as you network and meet new people, and just keep involved in the space, you're going to eventually get it and it's going to eventually click. So I just need you guys to be able to stay consistent and just be dedicated to this. If it's something that you really want to get into and really want to learn, that's the biggest advice I could give to you in this aspect of things for sure.
Realistically, I think when I say get involved, I more or less just mean just occasionally checking in on the community. You might be able to just go on Discord at one point throughout the day, go, oh, there's no new news in this community. Oh, they're talking about this right now. And you might just be able to do a quick browse every now and then. But if you actually start to get more involved in the community, like talking to people that also own said NFT or trying to talk to the creator in the chat, you might get more out of it and you might find that you feel more invested in the product as it goes up.
All right, so let's go to the next one. We just went over all of this in terms of the OpenSea. Let's get into Twitter and why it's important. Sean, if you want, you can start that off just because I'm going to do the Discord slide next. So I think you'd be pretty good in terms of Twitter aspects of things. We did walk through it a little bit on OpenSea on, how to get to those projects and be able to view their Twitter. Like I said, make sure that they're being active with the community, they're involved. They're not just, creating a Twitter just to create it. And, they're not just creating like what I like to call it as a pump and dump. Cause that's something that you really don't want to invest into. But yeah, Sean will definitely tell you guys a lot about Twitter and why it's a really good space for the NFTs.
So Twitter seems to be the primary space where most NFT creators try to get involved with one another. I found there's not really too many that are trying to stick to Instagram like other products or brands may try to do. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of giveaways that collections try to host on Twitter where they might just say, hey, follow us, retweet this, and give us a like. And you might think, okay, I'm just helping them grow a little bit of an audience. But realistically, that helps you as someone who's invested in the project, and that helps the project itself, because the more eyes that see a project, the higher chance it is that the project's going to be successful, or the project may be able to make some quicker sales or stuff like that. I think it's kind of important to note that not every collection is going to look the same on Twitter. You might find some that are posting maybe 4 or 5 times a day. They're reposting anything that someone's posted about their collection, and they're just trying to get as much information out there as possible. You might find a collection that just does a post a week or something like that. You might think that's a good sign, or you might think that's a bad sign. It just kind of depends on how you're evaluating their Twitter. As I've mentioned earlier as well, there's a lot of collaborations between collections. So I believe Tyler mentioned it earlier, how the Bored Ape Yacht Club started to collaborate with another collection to create a new NFT. You might see things where they just airdrop you gifts just for being an owner in a collection, where it's a collaboration between the two. Or you might see something where it's similar to what Bones Club did, which I'm going to slightly touch on later. But Bones Club had, I think, 10 auctions during the last season of drops, where each auction was a collaboration with the artist Fat Baby NFT. And they started off at the very regular mint price, but due to the special characteristics that they had, they ended up selling for like 4 to 5 times the original listing price. So I think just being on Twitter and staying involved and just being able to read what a collection might be thinking of every now and then is a really helpful tool to have. I know that I have seen Mike with a list of very useful Twitters to follow, just as far as either collections or people who just speak their mind about the current state of the NFT community.
So the way that you guys are going to use this list, you guys can all see my screen, right? Like we're on Twitter.
Correct.
All right, perfect. So the way you guys are going to use that list, you guys are all going to get this PowerPoint after as well. I'm also recording the video, so everything that is being done, it's all going to get sent over to you guys so you can review. But the way to use this list, right? So you click on the link and then you literally go to all of these different members, NFT 100. And it's literally, we created a group of 50 different people that
This one isn't a list that I made, by the way, but this is a very good list from someone I respect in the scene.
Right.
As
As
you
you
can
can,
see,
see, I'm following
these
a few
people.
of them. But like what you guys should also do, like my phone literally blows up all day because like I'm so involved with this community and this space. I literally turn on all of these people's tweet notifications because I want to be notified right away what they're doing and why they're doing it. You know what I mean? So like you'll literally, like my phone will literally go off all day because I have so many different people's tweets notifications on, and these people that are involved in this space, they're talking and they're tweeting all day. So it's just really, it's really important because you don't want to be sitting there and like you're so devoted and invested into this, and a simple tweet notification, you know, you could have just learned some information from someone. And it goes back to what I said. It all comes down to following the money. All of these guys right here, all in this group right here, all of these guys are going to be very, very, very wealthy people or very, very smart in this aspect of things. And they're going to know where to put their money. So it goes back to what I said. It's following the right people and just doing what they do. One big thing that has kind of worked for me is finding someone, you know, that has what you want. You know, you'll go do what they do, and then you'll get the ultimately with over time learning from them, you'll get the results that they have. So that's something that I kind of glued into my head. And that's just kind of how I live life. You know, I find people that, you know, are in a lot better positions than I am. And, you know, I just try to figure out how I can provide value to them in their life. And I think that's something that, you know, you guys could kind of take from me and, you know, use it in this game, like figure out how you can, you know, provide value to someone in a simple aspect of things. And a simple way of providing value is literally just being nice. Like just be nice to people. That's so easy. So that goes over that. We're going to go back.
Another thing to touch on about lists, by the way, if you go back to the lists,
Yep.
you could, I don't know how to do it exactly on desktop, but there's a way in the settings, I believe like the 3 dots up there where you can pin the list, and then you'll end up having 2 Twitter feeds.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I know how to do it on mobile. I don't know how to do it on the computer, but then you'll have 2 separate Twitter feeds, and your list can be its own Twitter feed. So say you don't want your like IRL homies to have your Twitter, you know, you don't want to not see them on Twitter. You can make 2 separate Twitter feeds basically on your own Twitter.
Oh, shit, that's
Like,
actually pretty
literally
cool.
just being nice and a good person too. Like you will meet people, you will network, you will make friends and connections that you didn't think were possible.
Straight up, you're gonna meet people that you literally like. You know how your parents, a lot of people, they tell you don't talk to strangers, don't do this. I've met some of the nicest. I've met some of the nicest, genuine people that have helped me and put me in positions to win, literally online. And that's literally the end of it. And it all goes back. You guys just bounce off each other. You know, you provide value to him, he provides value to him, and you know it just goes in a circle. And that's kind of why we're all here today too. You know, we're all in this call, we're all in this Zoom call, and we're all here trying to learn and, you know, put ourselves in a better situation and, you know, maybe even achieve that financial freedom.
I can attest to this. I initially started talking about NFTs with 2 people in a group chat. And Ty and Mike both know, and I'm sure a few other people in this call know, the group chat's now grown to the point where it's 40 plus people, and it's just a complete headache to try to read, just because there's so many people trying to get involved with one another and communicate. And I just think it's something that's really great about the NFT space, because you wouldn't expect this to happen just so smoothly.
And exactly what you're saying right there too. Like, think about this, Sean, like with all the people that we have in this group right now too, like 40 people is not even a lot. And like, it's a lot to even manage. Right. But like, think about if we add people that, like, all of these people here are all here for, you know, the same thing. Everybody's trying to learn. If we can teach one of you guys, right, to be able to be in the position that we're in right now, teaching you guys, you know, that's going to go a long way now, because now you can go help someone else out that needs help or needs guidance. And now you can go talk about this subject and, you know, put another person in a position to win. So I think that's going to go a long way for a lot of you guys too. And hopefully you guys take something out of this and, you know, actually act on it. We're going to go into the next slide though. Following that was.
Don't sleep on the Twitter, y'all.
No, yeah, straight up. I spend most of my days on Twitter. I literally spend most of my days on Twitter, and like come nighttime,
all the info.
You could literally catch me nighttime from 12 o'clock to probably around 3 or 4 in the morning, just browsing the Twitter space, learning new stuff, finding out what new people are buying. Why are they buying it? You know, you really got to be curious in this space. So we're going to get into the disc. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, that's just some more. I didn't want to include a bunch of links because that's hard to read, but that was just like 8 different people that I thought were very good people to follow in the spaces. And then Dee's hosts Twitter spaces, which are like the audio spaces, and his are the absolute best for like NFT and crypto stuff.
Yeah,
but those are all great follows.
Twitter spaces are awesome. Those are actually becoming a really big thing. It literally is just like us hosting the Zoom space. But like now you're just it's almost like a group, a Twitter phone call, you know, but you're just not showing each other screens.
Yeah.
You guys are, you know, you're kind of just talking about, they do it with communities all the time too in Discords. But let's move on to the Discord section, right? So caution, major caution for every single one of you. Everyone needs to listen to this too. You guys need to be really careful of scam messages. I've witnessed one person literally lose millions of dollars in NFTs because what happens is you get sent, when you join these Discords, you literally get sent all these different external links and says, hey, join this, or hey, you got a free giveaway, join, connect your wallet here and you get a free Bitcoin. Don't, like, seriously, no, at the end of the day, think about it. No one's ever going to hand you a Bitcoin for free. So, I mean, if you think that, you know, you just hit a home run, I mean, you're probably going to get scammed and it's going to work out in a very bad way for you. So my advice is, you know, to just be careful of those scam messages. Never send money to someone you don't know. You know, never share personal information with someone you don't know, and make sure you always verify the official websites and the links that you're clicking, and just be aware of those get rich quick schemes. You know, generally, I like to tell people that you want to be kind of wary of any opportunities claiming you know, to get you a large sum amount of money overnight. You know, making investments, like if you guys are just trying to like make investments, you know, in search of a quick buck, that's usually very short-sighted and long-lived. And it's often, I've just seen it happen way too many times. It just often leads to disappointment. So just be careful, like just falling prey to human greed, especially in this NFT community with like all of these new people being involved, because, you know, there's someone on the back end that, you know, it's just the way the world works, that is really greedy and is going to be trying to take advantage of all you new people that are trying to get involved with this. So that's like the biggest disclaimer I can tell you on Discord. I already went over Discord about like connecting with people, really make sure that you're involved there. And then I would also recommend that as you get involved and start purchasing NFTs, you're going to want to actually just join the Discords of the NFTs that you purchase, just so you can stay up with the community, you know, see what's going on, where the roadmap is, you know, maybe they're going to be doing some airdrops, you know, and we'll get into that a little. I think there's a few more slides left. We're going to be getting into that though with some upcoming projects that we really see in the future and, you know, that we think are going to do very well. But before we do that, what is gas price and why is it important? This is something that is really important. So Sean, do you want to go over gas or do you want me to do it? Because I can do it, no problem.
I can go over gas. One second. Let me just scroll down to my notes about it.
So yeah,
Um,
like, really quick though. So just so you guys have a general overview, like every transaction on the blockchain is really processed and validated, or like it's basically validated by miners. So these miners use these powerful systems. And the amount of like basically the effort to, go sell or go buy one of these NFTs, that's the amount called the gas it's required to. And on most NFT places, the marketplaces, users have to pay gas fees for selling and buying, like I said, as well as minting. And minting means like actually getting it for basically like a retail drop. So the amount of the fee is going to really depend on the number of the type of like computations required to verify the transaction. So usually like the more complex the computation is, the higher the gas fee is going to be. So the gas fee, what you guys need to understand is this is simply determined by the gas limit multiplied by the gas price. Now, what the gas limit is the gas limit means it's the maximum gas you're literally willing to pay for a transaction. Now, what the gas price is it's the amount you're willing to pay for each unit of gas. So let me say that again. The gas limit means the maximum gas you're willing to pay per transaction, and the gas price is the amount you are willing to pay for each unit of gas. So actual price of gas is always going to keep fluctuating. It just depends how much volume is going on in the market right now. So if we got a project that's releasing and we got 10,000 people trying to buy this right now, gas fees are probably going to be pretty high. So you just got to be aware of that. And the network traffic, like I said, is going to be what's going to make it go up and it's going to go down. So you can actually set a gas limit and it can determine how soon your transaction will be processed. So you'll notice once you get a little bit more familiar with MetaMask and actually buying NFTs, when you go in and you get that gas pop up, you can hit edit gas. And you can literally click out and you can hit low, you can hit, I think it's like regular, and then the other one's like high. And basically all that does is if you hit the high one, it's gonna charge you a little bit more money, but it's gonna speed up your transaction. Now, what that allows you to do is you gotta think of the miners doing these transactions. The miners are gonna be sitting there saying, okay, well, if I have if you were the buyer, right? And you set your gas low, and there was another buyer and had his gas high, what do you think the miner is going to go with? Probably the high one, right? So the miners usually like to prioritize transactions that offer higher gas fees over yours. Now, I'm not telling you to go put high gas fee for everyone, because that's not the case. You don't have to do that. But like, for example, like on a drop, like where there's 10,000 people trying to get it, you might want to be inclined to maybe do that high gas fee. So you're kind of more guaranteed to get that. Sean, I think that was pretty much everything I had on gas. I think I covered it pretty good, but if you have anything to add, go ahead.
I was just going to add that with gas, there's a couple default settings that you can use when making a transaction. Generally, there's the slow gas, average gas, and fast gas. Slow gas can take anywhere from 10 minutes or greater than that, depending on how low or how expensive it was. Average gas transactions usually take about 3 minutes to process, maybe a little less. And then if you're spending money for a fast gas transaction, these take maybe about 15 seconds to complete.
That's pretty accurate for average, but I mean, that also depends on the network, like they said, but Sean kind of nailed that.
Yeah. You might hear a lot of people referring to something called a gas war. That is never something you want to be a part of, but a gas war is more or less when either due to network demand, the price of gas is ridiculous. I know I tried to participate in an NFT drop on Sunday, and before the drop, gas was about $40 or so. And then once the drop started, the price of gas went up to a couple thousand just to have a single transaction fee, which to many is extremely annoying. I myself personally hate it. And I know if you mention a few projects to me or my friends, we will act like it's a Vietnam War kind of thing because of how bad the flashbacks are and how frustrated we got.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys right now really quick, just because yesterday I tried to mint in Al Capone's, and I'm going to just show you guys really quick. So this is what happens when so many people are trying to get involved into this space. Let me just go to, where's OpenSea?
While you're pulling that up, I did want to mention, so you might hear to us refer about losing gas. So that basically is, say you and your friend both start a transaction to buy something, the exact same item at the same time. Your friend uses fast gas and you use just average gas. Both of you are spending, like during the time it takes the transaction to process, you're both spending money for that gas to be used. The moment someone else completes a transaction on that NFT that you also have a pending transaction on, your transaction is declined, you get the lump sum back, but you lose out on all the gas that was spent in the process of that transaction. So say you only went to go spend $25 on gas and someone else spent 50, and by the time $20 of your gas was spent, they spent all 50, you lose 20 of that $25, which doesn't sound fortunate. It's kind of annoying, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to learn about as you use NFTs more and more.
Yo, Sean, I think that $200 might have got back to me, dude. I don't
So
see it.
no, I'm gonna possibly
Sick.
burst your bubble here. I don't believe it shows gas subtracted from your account after.
You click
Yeah,
on the
it did-
transaction
it
though
did the
from the
other day,
wallet. You can
but
go to Etherscan from there. If you go back to that transactions.
I mean, it's not really important, but yeah, we'll just show them real quick. So
If you just click on one of the transactions, you can just
You
go
on
right,
Etherscan.
click on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so this one right
Okay.
here, right? You guys see how it says 0.06 and I have this red arrow. It says reverted. So I tried to mint this and I ended up taking $206 worth of gas from me because someone else had, like I said, someone else had a higher gas fee and, you know, they were able to get it quicker than I was. And that's just how this game works.
It's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but you know, you just gotta live and keep moving on with it.
This is why a lot of us will emphasize that prior to a drop, you might see a price listed. We usually tell people to just add a little bit extra to what they expect to pay, just because you might see an item listed for 0.01, which just for sake of this conversation, I'm going to say is $25.
Right.
You might want to have $35 in your account just for that purchase, just because gas might be X amount of dollars. And it might, because gas fluctuates, you might have to have more in your wallet at times than other times when you go to purchase something just because of gas pricing at that time.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we covered gas pretty good. If anyone still has any questions about that, we'll go over it in the Discord. Let's get into rarity tools real quick. We're almost wrapped up towards the end of our slides. We got rarity tools, and then we're just going to be giving you guys a quick overview of some projects that we foresee being very good in the future. But really quick about rarity tools. This is going to come in handy for a lot of you. So rarity tools is a website dedicated to ranking generate of art, collectible NFTs by rarity, right? So different rarities. And all of these are going to be displayed. You have to obviously get approved to get put on the rarity tools. So not every project's going to be on here, but some of the most common questions asked actually in the NFT space. So, you know, it's like I think the biggest question I would say is ask is, yo, what makes my NFT rare? You know, so people want to know how rare their NFT is, or like whether or not the one they're buying is rare or looking at is rare. So this website right here is going to be a really, really good tool. It really makes your life easy, and you know, it just aims to provide an easy to understand ranking for these. So if I wanted to look at, I don't know, for example, cool cats, right? So like when you search up most projects here and you view the rarity score, as a buyer, this is really important because you want to know, like I said, what makes an asset worth more. You know, since each collectible NFT community values their NFTs differently, Rarity Tools actually goes in and they customize their rankings for each project by adding additional derived traits. Now, it goes back to what I said to you guys earlier. One thing that I want you to really, really understand is that rarity is not everything. It's just not. If you like something and you know it represents you, you know, then that's you. You know, it doesn't have to be rare. Rarity, it just helps in terms of like an actual resale value. You know, so even though, like I said, rarity is not important when evaluating an NFT. Some NFTs might actually have like unique aesthetics, or like the unique traits or different combinations that actually can't be accounted for. So like, you remember how earlier we went to where the properties were on the OpenSea, and we hit properties and you could see like, it would tell you the clothes, it would tell you the hat, it would tell you yada, 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 you know? So some of these, they don't get derived. So what ends up happening is rarity actually goes in, and they go in and account them for by determining a certain factor called the rarity score. So most individual NFTs are unique one of ones, but each one is ultimately up to you, you know? Mike, you want to just mute yourself? All right, so that basically covers rarity tools. That's going to be I'll just search up a quick project just so you guys can see. We'll look up.
Did you touch on the upcoming tab that they have?
Upcoming, yeah. This will be like upcoming, what's about to release.
This is another good way to see a good majority of projects that are coming out. It is important to note, though, that not all projects will be listed here. I believe there's a fee to be listed on this list, as well as there's a fee to be listed on Rarity Tool as well. So that's why you might not see some of your favorite collections on there.
Perfect. So that's like good, definitely in terms of upcoming, but let's just go to all collections real quick. We'll go to Cool Cats for an example. So right here, you can see automatically it's sort by rarity, and you can go low to high, high to low, recently listed, blah, blah, blah. And basically these are literally going to tell you every single collection that you're going to search up. If you have this sorted by rarity, it's going to tell you 1 all the way down to 10,000, which one is most rare. And, you know, for example, if we go to, I don't know, if we wanted to do a Cool Cat and he was like, for example, he had a hat, and like in your specific trait, you wanted to figure out if your Cool Cat had, you know, let's say he has an arrowhead, right? Say your Cool Cat has a specific arrowhead, and all of these ones are going to be the same, right? So there's 206 different Cool Cats with arrowhead traits. So all you'd want to do is just click this arrowhead here, and it's going to filter out every single one with the arrowheads, right? And it's literally going to tell you what's the most rare in order. So this one, number 1,916, that's going to be the most rare with that specific trait. So like, if you wanted one, if we didn't want one with the arrowhead, we decided to go, let's see, let's go face, right? And you want, let's do the derp. It's going to be the same exact idea. The derp is going to be, it's going to list it in order, most rare to the least rare. And then another cool thing, is going to be the low to high. It'll tell you the exact lowest price to the highest price. So these ones are obviously listed. It's only going to tell you the prices of ones that are listed. It's not going to tell you the prices of these just because these are being held in other people's wallets that either they're not on the, they're either just not listed, or they're just going to hold them. So that kind of basically covers rarity tools. I don't really think there's really too much else to go over there. That's really, it's really straightforward for all of you. You'll be able to navigate through that pretty easily. We're going to go over, is the screen still on my?
Still on Rarity Tools.
Rarity, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So you guys can see this.
Just got a couple projects to
Subducts,
go over real quick.
art blocks, yeah.
All right, perfect. So CryptoPunks. Mike, you want to talk about the punks?
Yeah. All right. So it's a project I don't know too terribly much about, but it was the #1 volume, and I think it still is, and basically has been for quite a while. It's kind of one of those biggest blue chip NFTs. They're just
Probably
unique little CryptoPunks. This one here that's on the screen is actually the one that Visa just recently bought the other day on the 23rd. So that's pretty exciting that they're getting into that. But
Visa guys, Visa. Remember that name, Visa.
Yeah, no.
Budweiser, Visa. These are all big companies starting to get involved with this space. So what does that tell you?
Means it's slowly becoming more and more mainstream. So if you have big brands adopting this because they think it's a social thing that they need to take advantage of, that should give you a hint that, hey, maybe these are gaining traction. Maybe I should start looking into some of these.
That's a great point. But the punks being a 2017 project and everything being on the blockchain, that kind of historical aspect of being one of the first like popular projects, even though it had no popularity for the longest time, is kind of what's deriving a lot of the value and want for them. So like they have a ridiculous amount of total volume traded. I'm not even going to attempt that, but you can see they're appreciating really quickly too. Like with what Visa bought it for on the 23rd, the floor is now 127F instead of 49.5. So like that's like what, 1.5 times more, which is crazy.
Yeah, legit. Let's go over to the next one. So this one,
Yeah.
I don't actually own, I don't think any of us actually own these, but I'm really working towards one right now. I really want to own one. I think the floor is close to like 8 Ethereum, 9 Ethereum, might be a little less. So a little bit about VFriends. So this is actually Gary V's collection. He created VFriends basically to bring life to like, if you look at a VFriend, right? They have one called Methodical Mammoth, Passionate Parrot, you know. So what he did is he created these to bring his life, like his ambitions. He basically wants people to act out as if they're that creature, you know. So he's building all of this around his community, and he's just, you know, by owning a VFriend, actually, this actually gives you access to what's called VCon. So I don't know if you guys know what VCon is, but I want you to think of it like a trading convention, right? You go to a sneaker convention, you go to I don't know, a card show, any type of thing like that, right? And you go buy, sell, and trade, and you go make connections with great people. This is going to be a multi-day event. So VCon is a multi-day event that is going to basically rival some of the greatest conferences in the world. I think that VCon is going to be basically built around entrepreneurship, marketing, different ideas, different creativity, and all different types of competition. I also think that this is going to be a really cool place to go meet friends and build great relationships with people. And me personally, a large part of the reason why I spent so much money on Gary V's books. Yeah, I'm going to be giving away a lot of those books for free. But the biggest thing with that was to actually, I watched almost a 4-hour video, and, you know, don't quote me on this because I can't tell you if it's 100% correct, but, you know, I have a really good feeling that all of those books that I purchased, and hopefully a lot of you guys purchased them too. And when we get our airdrop, I have a feeling that that's actually going to be a token to VCon, because I was listening to one of his videos, and he was one of the live comments asked him, you know, Gary, if you're going to sell all these books, you know, how are you going to release something that's actually, you know, maybe even going to resell in value, you know? And you know what he said? He said that he's going to create something that is there's so much demands for it that there's just not enough supply. So the only thing that my brain can put together is like just possibly being VCon, because I think with the VFriend, with them being 10,000 items, you know, there's only going to be 10,000 people there, and most of them probably can't go because they live all over the world. So I think that could be a really cool thing, but like I said, don't quote me on that because I don't know if that's actually what's going to happen. But I'm just hoping, and I'm hoping that's what it is. So Subducks, really quick, I already talked about it. Frankie Nines is actually the creator. And part of the reason why I actually got into Subducks was I was just reading over their roadmap, and I just really like this. What can my Subduck do? And it basically grants you legendary status. What else do you need? And I mean, I just think that's, you know, just cut and dry, you know, everyone wants that legendary status in this space. So I think that's a big reason why I bought into this. And I really like the Discord community and the Twitter community. Everyone's really good and really friendly. And we've actually, I don't even think they've done any airdrops in this community yet. And we're at a 1.25 floor. We actually hit a 1.4 floor the other day. But obviously, you know, it goes up and down. So I'm looking forward to see how this project plays out. I think that eventually I will be able to sell this duck probably for over 20,000. And that's just going to take time. But when it does, you know, it'll pay. I mean, $500-600 investment turn into that. I mean, you can't do that really anywhere else. You can't do that working a 9 to 5 or, I mean, it's just putting your money in the right places and just listening to people. We're going to go into the next one, art blocks. I have a friend actually on here. His name's Carl. Let me see if I have him in here. He's actually really big into art blocks. I'm going to unmute him right now. Let me just see if he's in here. Carl, you should be unmuted.
What's going on? It's Carl here.
Awesome. What's up, Carl? I appreciate you coming in. You want to just give them a rundown about art blocks really quick?
Art Blocks is it's a great community. A few things about them. I was actually watching a Art Blocks after dinner mint last night live on YouTube. Those are real good. This guy Noah Davis that works with Christie's auction house, he actually was saying on October 1st they're auctioning off a Art Blocks collection, and they are accepting Ethereum as bidding in a live bid, which is awesome. So that's like a really good thing. And then also a very good artist that's associated with Art Blocks would be Stefano Correro. He's very good. I like a lot of his art just due to the way his colors are, line direction. It really draws my eyes. Those are reasons like I'm into NFTs. I really like the aesthetics of certain art. I see his stuff going very far in the future. Something you can look up. I'll spell it for you. It's called Rinashata. It's RINASCITA. If you look that up on OpenSea, that's a really good collection by him that you can look up. Art Blocks is it's a good thing. I see it going somewhere. I own one currently. I bought it for 0.13. I've had offers up to 0.9 on it. A few other artists I like are Ilya Kozov. She's very good. She releases art on many platforms. She does this thing called Metaverse Creatures on OpenSea, and that's also very good, I think.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Carl. Thanks a lot. Mike, Sean, do you guys have anything that you want to add to the art blocks? I'm not really too big into this space. I know that there's tons and tons of money being thrown into it. I wish I was a little bit more. Obviously, I need to do a little bit more homework, but kind of left this slide for you guys if you have anything else. But
Yeah,
Carl,
so,
you did a great job.
From my understanding, the art blocks are all generative artwork that is created by the artist, kind of creating different algorithms and whatnot up to their standards. And I was reading some stuff, some of them, it takes them like 2-3 months to continue working on that. And then they have 3 different collections, the curated, playground, and factory. Basically, like how much they curate the art. Like the curated is obviously like the highest vetted one. It's like, the playground, they kind of let other artists who have been in the curated one mess around a little bit more. And then factory is just more so for newer artists to get in because of how like strict their curation process is, from what I understand.
Perfect. Appreciate you sharing that, Mike. I'm going to move on to the next one. This is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think this was the one that we had the other guest speaker. He was supposed to come on and talk about these. Mike, you know him a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
I'll just give it a little rundown though. Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, they mint price was 0.08. So that comes to, that's really cheap for that. If you guys seen what they were selling for right now, Mike, what is the floor right
Absurd.
now? What is that? What is that worth?
45 was when I put the slide together. It was at 45.4269 now.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So like what, like 15
At least
or
multiply that by
150K,
3, and that's roughly
right?
what it is. Yeah.
Roughly 150K for the cheapest.
Yeah, and you could have bought it for a couple $100.
Yeah, but they've done a lot with their collection. Their community is arguably one of the strongest ones there is. They have a mutant ape yacht club they just released. Like holders could get serum, and then you could also like mint them. It was this really cool thing. A lot of whole new like unique art came out of that. That's a whole new thing. Kind of let other people get back into the scene too, into like a very successful blue chip NFT already at a much lower price, which is nice. And then they have the Kennel Club, which is just like Bored Ape dogs, basically. I don't know exactly too much about them, but I will say like anyone that I know with one like function to them. I mean, they've sold a handful of them here and there, and these are very rich people who don't even need the money, and they're just holding them.
These are functions right here.
Oh yeah,
He was supposed to be here. He actually owns 4 of them. So I mean,
he
these
might
are,
own more, I believe. Actually, these were just the 4 I saw recentest on his Twitter.
yeah.
But
So
I think he got all these very recently, except for the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club. But he was supposed to be here, but I think that was because we kind of had to lock this down.
no, yeah, I'm
Kind of
sure.
messed with
Yeah,
that.
there was actually a lot more people that were supposed to be in here, but
Yeah, no worries.
it's all good.
We'll
I'm
get him in
recording it.
another space or Twitter Spaces or something.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a
We're
really
recording
good
it.
follow, though. I have his notifications on, and honestly, I recommend everyone to. He's also really funny.
Yeah, I think I also follow him too and have his notifications on.
Yeah, it's free alpha 24/7. I mean, you could
Literally.
do zero NFT research and copy trade him, and you'd probably do okay.
It's
He
literally
does spend a lot of money on dumb projects, though, just because they'll get high and likes them. Like he minted a bunch of ether rocks, a bunch of ether paper, a bunch of all sorts of ridiculous stuff just because he wants to. But
Can't say those rocks
you know,
didn't resell for a nice price though.
right. Yeah, it's
exactly.
unbelievable.
It's not like he's doing bad with it though, but like stuff like that, I wouldn't copy trade him on because that's something that's very much
Very
more
risky.
volatile, you know.
100%.
But
This is
yeah,
probably going to be a project that like most of us aren't going to look at right now. Like it's really good. Yeah, really cool traits, but they're just really out of a lot of our price ranges
it's
because
goals.
they are selling for multiple hundred thousands of dollars, you know. Some of them are even selling for like 2 million. But we just figured, you know, we'd bring it up in this space so you guys have an understanding and you know about them and you've heard about them. Just so you know, like, hey, maybe when the next mint comes around, you know, maybe you guys get lucky and mint one, and you know, you can go flip it for that. But we're gonna move on to the Bones Club.
I just want to
Sean,
say one quick thing about the Bored Ape Yacht Club before we move on.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think many would consider the Bored Ape Yacht Club to kind of have that ideal model of what an NFT community could be. Because I think I've seen from the Bored Apes, I've seen them do several airdrops where they're just giving free NFTs to the people who own a Bored Ape Yacht Club. They've given several merch opportunities to them. They've had several collaborations where they said, hey, if you're interested in this community, we have some cool ideas with them we can do. It's just one of those communities where you'll see many people try to imitate what they've done just because of the sheer amount of success they've had.
Right. So let's move on to the Bones Club. Sean, you actually got me into the Bones Club. I can't thank you enough, bro. I really, really appreciate it. We actually have our 3rd drop coming up pretty soon. I was able to get 2 of them. Sean, absolute beast, able to grab 8 of them on a drop. And I believe the floor is actually sitting at like almost 0.2 right now. But Sean, I'm gonna let you really discuss about this because this is something that you really are into. And you obviously brought me into it. So
the Bones Club was one of those first collections that actually caught my eye that I said, hey, I want to invest in this. I'm not just going to buy 1 or 2. I want to see how this project goes. So initially they had some really unique art that was all just hand drawn with a bunch of combinations of traits and whatnot. They did a bunch of random drops where they'd have a set time with a release and they'd say, hey, we're going to release 250 right now. They're all going to go for sale at this set time. Find one you like. Hopefully you like it. I know that they're trying to revamp their brand right now. They've made several changes to their marketing. I believe there's talks for plans of an eventual game. The current floor has gone from 0.025, which back when I bought my Bones Club was about $50. And they've mentioned that they plan on doubling the the mint price for the next following drops that they plan on doing. And currently the floor, as of last night when I was writing this, is 0.18. And I know that I remember seeing people talk about they were only 275 Bones Club members away from being at a 1 Ethereum floor. So it's one of those things where the price is rapidly changing and there's a sign of steady growth after holding on to a project for a long period of time. Because I know I've held on to my 8 bones and just thought, well, this is going to take off at one point or another, so might as well just kind of accumulate while I can. And slowly as time is passing, that's starting to pay off for me. I think the Bones Club community is extremely interesting and they're super active. And if you ever take a chance to visit their Discord, you'll see people who are either hunting for a specific trait or combo of traits, or you'll see people who are just saying, hey, I'm a fan of this project. I like these projects too. What can I do here? Like, it's just a welcoming and wholesome community for the most part. I don't think I've had a sour experience with it yet. But it seems like one of those entry-level NFTs that people can participate in and not really have to worry about a super high floor or an initial startup cost. I definitely recommend people check it out. That being said, though, it's not for everyone. I believe it's mostly just intended to be a profile picture avatar, and then they may have an intent for utility or an eventual game to be made in place, but at the moment, they're still focusing on just being a profile picture while making rebranding.
We'll get into the game that, you know, we're all waiting for to drop in a second. I'm trying to click this NFT Stat Club for you, Sean, but for some reason it's not loading. But,
no worries.
You guys that are getting this PowerPoint, just go through this, and some of the links, they're not allowing me to click on them. I must not have like made it as a URL. So all you guys are gonna have to do after is just click the link, and it's just gonna provide you another website where you'll be able to view stats and different things like that. This is probably one of my favorite projects right now that's out there. Sean actually got me involved with it. And this is our whole Discord is actually involved, or not our Discord, our whole Snapchat group that we have. We actually are all involved in this. I
think the majority of us own at least one or two that are in the group chat that we have.
Yeah, I wish I was able to get more than one, but I didn't mint it. They actually were minting it. So what happened was, like when Sean was telling you that we have a bunch of people that are in our group now, and messages kind of get flooded. I didn't actually see that the Rumble Kong, you know, that they were going to mint them and when the mint was. So I actually paid almost $800 for my Kong, but you know, I was getting offers for, I don't know, 1,800 to 2,000 like a week later. So it was a good buy. I think our floor is what is it, a 0.5 or something like that right now?
Roughly 0.5.
It's been going crazy today though, because Steph Curry just bought a Rumble Kong, so that's
yeah.
kind of
So
nuts.
explain to them more, because you guys know a lot more about this project and it being a 3v3 basketball introduction. I think a lot of you guys are going to really like this project, and maybe it's something that you guys want to get into. I know I got Carl. Carl, actually, I got him into it, and he was really excited, but he did buy it on the higher end when things were high, but I'm still very confident on where this project's going to go. But yeah, I definitely would like you guys to talk about more about that, and them actually releasing that 3v3 game and stuff.
Yeah, Mike, you can take care of this one.
Yeah, so the price definitely has fluctuated. We almost hit a 1F floor at one point, and then we went down a lot. But the reasoning for that, we had a sneaker, a free airdrop to all holders, which was awesome. It was super awesome for me because I got the rarest sneakers, the airdrop. They're worth like a 1F floor right now. So like I basically got handed $3,300 right now if I wanted, but I'm holding it because I'm not an idiot. But the project's just awesome. I mean, the community, not even the community names there. I mean, shoot, we could add Steph Curry to that too now, but the community of just people who are all Kongs that we've all met on the Discord and all that, it's such a great community. Everyone's so there for each other and everything, which is great. We have a great artist behind it. The team themselves, like the actual developers and stuff, have so much experience. They help port Minecraft to literally like consoles. They did NFT, which is the first peer-to-peer NFT lending thing. And then our community, we haven't had any like paid shills or anything. So all of our growth from our community has been like 100% organic. And then we just released the white paper actually today, I believe, or yesterday for the public.
I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, but that just got dropped for our public, right? For everyone. And we're going to have staking. There's really good tokenomics. There's just so much crazy stuff in the white paper. I highly recommend everyone looking up Rumble Kong League after this and just giving it a read yourself. It's not as boring as most white papers, which is great. And it just talks about so much crazy stuff they have in the future. I mean,
I think their
it's
roadmap
awesome.
is what kind of intrigued me to get into this the most, because they haven't even come out with a lot of stuff that they're talking about. And if we already are hitting a 0.5 ETH floor, there's no telling, if you look at these apes and you look at everything else on where it's going. I mean, we're sitting here right now on Zoom as we speak right now, and Art Block's curated glitch Crystal Monsters just sold for 33,000. So, like there's no telling where these are going to go, because the amount of money that's being poured into these markets right now, it's unbelievable. There's
Never
like,
been seen.
yeah, I literally
Yeah.
can't believe it. Like I turned, this is just a small little flip, but I bought an Ape Gang. I bought it for like 0.05 and no, yeah, 0.005. And I flipped it for 0.3, which
Oh,
I
you're
made.
gonna regret that now. They're going crazy right now on Twitter.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Actually, no, I
Hey,
ended
we
up,
made
I sold
money,
it for
so no need to
0.5.
complain.
No, exactly. Money's never a regret.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I mean, I made a quick $1,000
Exactly.
off of $180 investment.
Exactly. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, that was good. It worked out great. But let's get back to the Rumble Kongs.
Wait, back to that last slide. We have something in the white paper, the Kong paper that's released, and they're gonna allow other NFT projects. So like in the future, once the game's released, which is Q4 they're planning on, you're gonna be able to like literally play against other projects. Like you could be dunking on a Bored Ape Yacht Club. You could dunk on a CryptoPunk. Like all of that's kind of explained in there, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. The next few slides for the Rumble Kongs are all just like visuals and stuff. So like that's the team. They're awesome. Sig Pencil's a fantastic artist.
I highly recommend following him on
artists.
Twitter as well. Wow, sorry
Yeah.
about that cutout.
No, you're good. His Bored Ape Yacht Club derivatives are one of the more popular ones. That's how I found out about him. Well, actually, I found out about him because Sean. But the rest of the team's awesome though. Like they have the experience and the knowledge, and they know what they're doing. It's not like you're not gonna get rugged. Those are my 3 Kongs. I just showed like they have boosts and they have properties, so they have the traits. And then the boosts are their like actual in-game percentages and stuff. I accidentally cut one of them off because I used paint, so oops. But those will all be able to. You can stake your Kongs and make your Kongs basically go to a training school kind of type of thing that's said in the white paper and improve their stats permanently. But then there's also going to be non-permanent boosts, which is going to be cool. So yeah, there's some of the Kongs. There's some really crazy visual ones too. Those are the shoes. The ones on the left are the really crazy ones I got airdropped, and I mean, I got both of them. But yeah,
explain to them a little bit too what it is as an airdrop. Because you bought these Kongs, you got these as an airdrop.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things Rumble Kongs did, depending on the amount of Kongs you held before X date, I don't remember exactly what it was, but the date they decided to drop these sneakers, if you had, I think it was 1 or 2 Kongs, you got 1. If you had 3 to 11 Kongs, you get 2. If you get 12 to like 60 Kongs, you get like 3, and it just like kind of went up like that. So that actually made me make the decision. I bought my 3rd Kong at about $1,100 or $1,300. I think it was like 0.42 ETH at the time. But I don't regret that at all, because now I have 3 Kongs and I got 2 pairs of shoes. These are some things I took from the Kong paper. I just cut them out. It just kind of shows there's going to be different leagues. So like my really crappy Kong can be in the G League down in like Division 6. Shows how tournaments are going to work. There's also going to be like, just like you can literally play Rumble Kongs like you would hop on like 2K and just go have fun, But like there's also pay to earn, like not pay to earn, play to get paid. So like you will be getting paid for that. So like you can rent your Kongs out, you can win money from tournaments, games, all sorts of different things. So that's awesome. And then I think this is the ecosystem. It kind of got stretched, but if you guys want to look at that after, or if you guys want to go to their website has it all on the Kong paper, but it really just kind of explains how a lot of this stuff is going to work in itself, like how it actually is going to work. And it just kind of throws a lot of the ideas we've been talking about onto a paper so you can see it, just kind of makes it a little bit easier to visualize.
All right. Guys, I know it's getting late too. I appreciate everyone that's still in here. This is our last one that we're going to be talking about. We're going to do the quick Q&A live. While we're doing that, I'm going to get a list together of everyone that's still here. And we're going to be doing a giveaway right after this slide. So just bear with me. This is the Crypto Cannabis Club. Mark Cuban actually owns one of these. Sean also got me involved with this one. Sean's actually got me involved with a lot of the NFTs that I've bought. He's a really good resource in terms of like doing research and finding those good communities and good projects that are coming out. He's been really good in terms of actually like keeping up to date with our actual our group chat and making sure that everyone, you know, it has what they need, and just making sure that everyone is helped the right way. And so basically I would say that Sean, you would probably know the most out of this, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, but so yeah, from my general understanding, I'll give a brief overview of the Crypto Cannabis Club. I'll admit it's something that I'm still trying to do my own research on as time goes by, but so from my understanding, it's just an idea where an NFT where people thought, hey, we want to bring the whole cannabis community together. We want to have a thing that just kind of ties the whole community in together, no matter where they're from, whether they be on one side of the state or one side of the continent or a different side. They just thought, we want to bring people together. So I know that they've already made several partnerships with a few, from their phrasing, not mine, a few well-known cannabis brands. So they're going to be doing opportunities like merch collaborations and things like that, where you'd be able to get something that's unique to the Crypto Cannabis Club, and it's something that's not available to just the average cannabis user. They have a very active Discord where you'll see on this, as you can see on the slide here, they have quite a bit that you can just talk about. They have people that are talking about non-NFT related things and just trying to network as a community. And then they have people who are just focusing on the NFT aspect of it. That being said, I want you to use all those with caution and just be smart about what you're doing in these Discord servers. The artwork for these are rather cool. I know they have several different variants.
Oh shit.
That they have a bunch of different variants that people are finding to be very interesting. I know that this is something where I'm not a huge fan of the art, but at the same time, I understand that the project and the goals behind the project are what's the driving force for it and not just the artwork. So a really cool thing about the Crypto Cannabis Club with NFT tokens, which is what they call their little NFTs and how they number them. If you own one, you get a token of a cannabis plant. And with this cannabis plant, they plan on having staking as well as a crypto cannabis cup, where you can use these properties of this plant to compete. And I'm not entirely too sure on the exact specifics of it, but it would be something where if you have, by some chance, to have a plant token that has good stats and you do the proper things to increase those stats that they haven't really announced the specifics of yet, you'd be able to either potentially win money or prizes or even like other NFT airdrops, just purely because you stayed involved in the community and you use those staking tokens for what they are intended to be used for. I also understand that there is talk about passive income from these tokens. So I think just getting in on them early prior to the tokens being revealed is a great idea for some people. But I understand that some people might not understand it, and it might be one of those things that's kind of intimidating to some. At drop, I believe I paid 0.07, or no, I paid 0.07 Ethereum for the two that I have. And then I was foolish and waited a little while longer, and then eventually paid 0.25 for my third NFT token. But it's one of those things where it's a project I really believe in, and I think the long-term value is something that people kind of underestimate with the tokens and the Crypto Cannabis Cup that they offer. So I think just as far as bringing a community together and just trying to integrate NFTs into that community, I think it's a great project to be involved in. And I think that just being able to just participate in something like this is really cool, because as far as I'm aware, this is the most popular cannabis-based NFT related thing. I could be wrong. I haven't done too much research on it, but I've seen many claim that this is one of the biggest NFT cannabis related projects, and I'm all for that. So another project that I'm going to talk about real quick is called Toto is a Good Dog. it's a very cheap project. I'm not going to lie. I totally didn't just buy another Toto is a good dog while we were in this Zoom call. I currently own 3. Need to fix that on the slide. But the community is very small and wholesome. The artwork's very pleasant and easy to get. If you own 5 Toto is a good dog before they finish making the 3,000 that they plan to make, you can ask for a custom Toto is a good dog, and the artist will make one to your liking or whatnot. So you can either view that as, okay, I can just use this as an incentive to go and buy 5 of these that I don't really care about, get a custom one that I really like, own that custom one, and then sell the 5 that I don't like. Or you can kind of use it as a way to like slowly just build up your NFT collection with either lighthearted or wholesome or affordable NFTs that just seem interesting. I could be a little mistaken with this, but I believe the basic idea behind Toto is a good dog is the NFT creator basically has this stuffed animal that he's had for maybe 20 plus years or something along the lines of that. And he'll just do different ideas that he's had of this stuffed animal and make drawings of it. And I don't know about you, but I kind of find that a little wholesome at times. So I feel like that's just something that's kind of nice to support just because the community that's surrounding this NFT are very wholesome and it's more positive focused instead of the, hey, we want to make this much money from selling an NFT for this much. This community seems to be more focused on, hey, we just like the art. We're just kind of here because it's a wholesome thing. And I know I keep saying it's a very wholesome thing over and over again, but it's kind of hard to talk about this community without saying it's wholesome.
You know, it's a dope community. It's a dope project. I have a NFT from this artist, but it's not from this project. It's from one of his other projects. But I love his work. I plan on getting myself a Toto. Honestly, I kind of want to flip some stuff, get myself 5 and then get a custom Toto, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps everything up. If you guys
make sure I
have, we're
get
gonna
the names
enter,
right.
we're gonna enter a live Q&A. Don't leave yet though, just because we still have the giveaway that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be answering question and answers right now. And then I'm gonna be putting together a list real quick of everyone that's in here. And
I'll DM it to you. I have it made on on
yeah,
my phone.
I was
I've been
typing it out.
updating it.
So we have one question, right? So question from Brady is, what are the most effective ways to find NFTs to mint and sell?
Twitter. You gotta be active on Twitter, be active on Discord, make friends.
I would say the biggest thing too, it all comes down to that networking with people. I think
at the end of the day, it's always going to go back to networking and where you're at, because you're not really going to see those projects unless you're just in the Twitter or in the Discord where someone says, hey, this caught my eye today. What do you guys think?
Exactly.
Because that's really all it is 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times when I discover a new project, take, for example, the Al Cabones that I tried to buy on Sunday, but was miserable and wasn't able to buy any of. I had someone reach out to me and say, hey, what do you think of this project? I saw it and immediately fell in love with it and thought this artwork is amazing. And the ideas that they have behind it are something that might be extremely profitable. I'm not too sure right now, but I'm pretty sure my buddy who ended up showing me this project was able to get 2 or 3, and he bought them for 0. I want to say it was 66.
6, yeah. 0.66 or 0.066.
It was 0.066. And he now has several authors for one whole Ethereum for that one NFT right there. So just the rate of return in just a short period of time is something that you kind of have to use as an incentive to kind of put yourself in more situations to be networking well. But at the same time, you don't really want to force it, because obviously not every collection that you have put in front of you is going to be something that's profitable. You want to just look at
like
it subjectively
5 a
each
day
time. Yeah.
That we just say, no, we don't like this. Like one of us will share it and it's like, nope, that's bad.
Straight up.
Like,
I'm like, nope. Yeah, although most of them are like that though. Most of them were just like, nope. You know,
it's like the Roman Colosseum where we just see it and we all just slowly turn our thumb downwards.
Exactly. It's better to get 40 people's opinion than just yours.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got a couple more questions. So, guys, also, I don't know if should I give them the option to unmute and talk live or no?
I doubt anyone's been here for 3 hours just to go, oh yeah. So
yeah, I mean, you guys can all unmute yourself now. If you guys have any questions, We're gonna try to answer them in order. We have a bunch in the Discord right now, or in the chat right now. So we got one. What are your all thoughts on the future of gas? Do y'all think Ethereum 2.0 it will help basically gas it all with 2.0 rolling out? I personally don't. I don't think it would help, but
I
that's
think
just
we're
my
gonna see
opinion.
a shift to Solana, Polygon.
Yeah,
That's my
I think
opinion,
we would see
but
a shift. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I think it might help though for sure. Like I could see it, maybe doing something, but I don't
think
know
at,
all the smart, like all that stuff.
Well,
I think
I
at
think
most,
Polygon is going to be one of the best, especially for like low transaction fees. That's just my opinion, because I've actually bought.
Hi, I love you.
Love you too, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, anyway, I think that with gas, I think we're going to see it kind of staying the same right now. If anything, gas might actually go higher just because of the more people that are, going to be
Network
involved in this
activity.
community. I think that I think people are just, I think that the gas is, it's just, I don't know. It
I
could
think the
go
more
down, but
people we
I
get
think
in,
shit,
the
maybe we could
quicker
have
the
kept it to
change is
ourselves.
gonna happen.
I just see it where if there's more people that are entering the space, that means that there's more demand. So, I mean, the way that the gas has worked recently, obviously with like more people trying to mint something, that's just, I just think that we're gonna see gas kind of stay in a almost like a steady pace for right now. I think once we see the crypto market drop, where a lot of people might start to pull out of crypto, that might be when you see gas fees really, really cheap. And that's when I would say to start buying stuff up.
It's also important to note that you might not always want to base whether you buy a project purely based on the gas at the time.
We got one. So what are the copyright laws on NFTs? Like the Rocket had the Budweiser logo without their permission.
So I'm pretty sure.
It did have permission.
That's actually a great question.
So
Ty, my phone is on 1. Thank you for the presentation.
I got you, brother. I appreciate you joining. I'm gonna enter you in the giveaway too. So I do have everyone's name that was in here prior to Q&A. If you guys want to stick around, obviously I would, just to see if you win. But I do have your name, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, good looks, brother. You're the best.
All right. So do you want to answer that one, Sean, about the legal laws?
So I know I'm not too sure as far as it goes about creating an NFT. I'm pretty sure they would have had to reach out in some form or another and ask, hey, is this all right? Because I believe there was a collection called Gucci Punks where they tried to take crypto punks and make a derivative of it where they had a bunch of Gucci and designer clothing in the NFTs. And I believe they got a cease and desist and ended up being delisted from OpenSea. I am aware though that a good handful of collections that I've participated in purchasing will have in the description licensed for commercial use.
Yeah, that goes back
ownership.
to what I said
Yeah,
earlier, if you guys
most.
remember. I said that you guys obviously want to do your due diligence before you buy anything and make like I would make sure that it has a commercial license, to be honest. But obviously just do your research and make sure it does before.
Worst case, you can always reach out to the Discord and ask them directly, because 9 out of 10 times the creators of the NFT will be active in the Discords.
It's true.
So we have
I
another
think
one about Top
Budweiser,
Shot.
they definitely
I
had
think
that.
I think a lot of people kind of understand what Top Shot is, and I think this will kind of be good to for everyone to hear. The question is, I don't know if you heard about it, but sports cards took a shot at NFT through Top Shot. Basically they were digital pictures, videos of NBA players, etc. At one point, they were doing well and reselling for a nice chunk of change. Although looking at it today, it has died out. What makes you think these projects everyone is investing in and collecting won't die out like Top Shot did?
I have a good
So,
answer.
I'm seeing Top Shot starting to come back, at least on my personal Twitter feed and all the people I follow. And I'm seeing it come back relatively hard. All the people that were into it, a lot of people were pretty heavy into it and pretty bullish on it. But I think the biggest thing is that it was one of the most popular NFTs at the time. And I mean, besides like punks and stuff like that, but one of those NFTs where you get that minting aspect where it's like a physical card where you get you get to pull something, you might pull LeBron dunking on someone, like something dope. And like, I think a lot of people have gotten out of it because a lot of people were there to flip, and I think the value kind of went down because of that. And now I think you're starting to see a bigger community that's the core people who care.
Completely agree with you, because I had a lot of friends that were actually getting involved. Honestly, I got involved with the Top Shot community like, I don't know, a while ago, but I was only in it to just really make money. I wasn't really in it to collect it. With NFTs, what I'm seeing because I literally am in the communities all day and I talk in the communities all day. What I've noticed is a lot of these people, they're not just buying these to make money. Like, they're actually collectors. Like, this is actually a real thing where I want you guys to think of it like, you guys know I sell shoes. I want you to think of it in that terms of things. Like, think about when you go collect shoes, right? When an NFT is basically released, it's at a mint price. It's just like when a shoe releases, right? So it goes back to that wanting to, look good or be elite or, have that Rolex, have that flex. I think that the way that these two kind of compare with each other is that if you look at a basketball shoe or any type of release, for example, we just had Lightning 4s that released last week, right? They release and then they retail for a certain retail price, and then they're going to resell for maybe 50, 60, maybe even $100 more. I think that the way these NFTs are working right now is people are actually finding good artists, because you're not just like these NFTs, you're not just finding like meme coins like that. And they're not just going up overnight. You know what I mean? It's like, they have to be a good community, I feel like. And that's like one of the things that I think is going to go a long way in this NFT market, is that I don't think that I think it's just an ounce of things right now where, yeah, people might be like buying and selling to flip it or, just to make money quick. But I think you're going to see, like I said, where I see it in the next 10 to 15 years, where, books are going to be published under NFT infrastructure. The concerts and the sporting games are going to roll out their NFT tokens. I think you're going to really see that come out in the future. And I think that's going to play a big aspect of things. So that's just, I just don't see NFTs as being like a pump and dump. And I still don't think Top Shot was a pump and dump either.
I think it's just valued properly now, because like base trading cards aren't going to go for, a Jordan rookie card. That just shouldn't be it. You shouldn't pay that for that. I think it's more so you get the aspect, like you kind of know going into Top Shot, like you're pulling cards, you're going in, kind of getting lucky, but you're also having a good time collecting cards, watching these moments, being a part of the community, and you have the aspect to sell them a lot more easy, in my opinion, or a lot easier than physical cards.
Absolutely. Guys, I don't see any more questions. If you guys have any more, we're going to answer them in the Discord just because it's getting late. And I know some people have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I got work at 4 a.m.
Last slide real quick. While I have all these things entered, I just want to say that, it's really great that all of you guys took that opportunity and, hopped on this call. I can't thank you guys enough for, putting yourself in a position to, level yourselves up and, really get a new insight of a different aspect of things. I think that you guys will be able to take this and hopefully you guys learned a lot. I left all of our social medias on here. One of my famous quotes, and I love to say it and leave it with all of you before we leave, is that your net worth is worth your network. And I say it to everybody, that you are who you surround yourself with. These next 10 years, I know a lot of us are all different ages, but with like me, if you guys are in your 20s, maybe even your 30s, these next 10 years are going to be really, really important for you. So you guys just want to make sure that you guys aren't missing out on any of these great, great opportunities. And you just want to make sure that you're surrounded by the right people, people that are going to put you in positions to keep leveling up your life and keep winning. So I'd love to connect with you guys on social media. My first two are obviously the first two digital collections, my Twitter, and that's Instagram. Sean's are going to be the next two to the right.
Snee and the legendary Lorax.
And Mike is going to be Mike Boggart on the bottom.
I don't really Instagram, but on the buddy function, you guys definitely need to follow him, turn his notifications on. And then we were going to have my buddy Kongzi speak. He has a really great story. Well, it's kind of a good story. His mom passed away, but he ended up using the money that was left from her, investing it into NFTs, and he's completely changed his life. But he's a good friend of mine, good dude. And yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, let's wrap it up right here. Let's get over to the giveaway. So this is going to be the actual NFT that I'm going to be giving away to one of you guys. I have a total of 37 entries. Now, I know there's 37 people in the call. There was 40 prior to when I entered all these. So if the person's not here, it is what it is. I mean, I'm still going to, I mean, I do know the other person that told me that their phone was on 1% though. So I'm going to leave him in here. So we're gonna switch over the screen right now. So the way this is gonna work, guys, is I have a spin wheel pulled up. I have every single person's name that was in here. And all you guys are gonna do, I need to make sure that you guys have a MetaMask. And all you're gonna do is after you win, just reach out to me or I'll reach out to you, and you'll just send me over your MetaMask extension wallet. And you literally just go to MetaMask, hit copy and paste. And then I'll literally transfer this and I'll send it right over to you guys. So without further ado, we're going to do a giveaway right now. We're going to go over to the spinner. I have everyone's name pulled up here. Can you guys all see the screen? You guys can all see the spin?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So, I didn't put Mike or Sean.
Yeah, no, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
no,
you should
I don't
put
want to
me and
participate
Sean.
in this.
Yeah. So we
That
got
would
all you
seem
guys
sus.
here. All of you guys, I don't know who iPhone is. I know you guys are still in here, but I know there was,
iPhone's still here.
yeah, there's two of them. So I just labeled them iPhone 1, iPhone 2. I really have no idea who you are, but if you win, I mean, you're just gonna have to tell me who you are. So we got 37 entries.
I can see everyone.
So we're gonna let me see. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna spin it twice.
Yeah, you ready? I'm gonna ask the chat how many times you guys want me to spin this right now. First comment. No, I ain't doing it 69 times. No way.
Do it 3, just so
All right,
it's
no,
not the first one.
We got Aiden with the first number. We're gonna do it 9 times really quick. So we're gonna hit shuffle 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, guys, we're gonna spin this. Spinner picks winner. I don't know if you guys all remember. I used to do this back in the day, but best of luck to everybody. And once again, I really appreciate you guys all tuning in to the call. Sean, if you can, please drop the Discord link again in the chat. Guys, I want to make sure that every single one of you get access to this Discord because that's where I'm going to be sharing this, the screen record, and that's where I'm going to be sharing these PowerPoints. So just make sure that you guys all join the link that Mike just posted in the Discord and Sean, and I'll see you guys over on the other side over there. So here we go. We're going to spin it. And like I said, best of luck, guys.
Best of luck, everyone. Thank you for attending.
Look, thanks for staying for 3 hours, y'all. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
I'm glad
appreciate
we
it,
got
y'all.
the children out of here.
Dude, we got iPhone
Fern
1.
win? Oh, that would have been so hype.
All right, yo, iPhone 1. I need you to message in this Discord who you are. I mean, not the Discord.
iPhone 1.
Message in the chat who you are.
You gotta somehow prove it.
Yeah,
though.
we gotta figure out who the hell this is.
I'm gonna ask them to unmute right now. So I have the certain one. Yo, iPhone, just if you have an iPhone, be ready to unmute. I'm asking you to unmute right now. iPhone 1.
They sent me their Snapchat information. Let me see if I have this individual. I don't know why they sent me their Snapchat, but they did.
No, you're good. I can do more. I can pin them. Can I do that? More.
They have their Snap, but
They said add my Snap.
Do you know the Snap name by any chance?
yeah, I'm gonna send it to you on Discord just so I'm not throwing it out.
No,
to
you're
the,
good.
Doxing them.
nah,
You
respect.
still got screen record on, bud.
No, yeah, that's fine.
I meant if you pop up on the Discord.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Where is
Hold
this?
on, just because they have an iPhone and they didn't sign into freaking Zoom doesn't mean they shouldn't win it.
No, yeah, I agree.
This is the username they sent me privately on Zoom.
They stayed for
iPhone.
3 hours. They
But
deserve
I want you to. Oof. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say what I just thought out loud until we confirm the winner.
Well,
Just
yeah,
send it to him on Snap, Sean.
I just need you did get it confirmed though that it was.
Yeah, so we have their like contact. Just send it up to Tyler on Snap.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
like,
as
one
long
doesn't
as you
have to
got
see it.
confirmation, that's all that matters. I
Yeah,
don't.
we just need to know who iPhone 1 is. Otherwise, no one's going to be able to get this. And it's going to look sus. We don't want that.
Yeah, 100%. I want this run the right way. So, yo,
Oh,
just
facts.
give me the name of the person that won, just so I can announce it.
I sent it to you in DMs
Just like
on
first name, you know? We don't got to dox
Discord.
them.
All right, hold on one second.
Okay, I just want to point out the individuals messaging me right now thinking that I'm Tyler.
Oh, really?
I apologize, but I'm not Tyler.
All right, so
Hey, yo, Tyler, I won your giveaway. Thanks, bro.
hell yeah, brother. No, yeah, I was trying to get in call, bro. I was trying to unmute you. Yo, do me a favor. I don't know if I have you on my Snap, but just reach out to me and send me over your wallet address, and I'll make sure I send that right over to you, brother.
Team Mercs.
Yo, everyone, that's basically it. If you guys have any more questions, I'll be here probably the next 5 minutes, just as you guys are getting off. I appreciate you guys. Really, really, really can't thank you enough for, tuning in, and hopefully you guys really learned a lot. And, hopefully we were able to provide you guys some value, and you guys can go take that and now go turn it into some profits. So once again, thank you, and Time Merc out.
Yeah, see you guys in the Discord, hopefully. Follow you guys on Twitter. I don't know, Twitter's dope. That's my favorite place to network, meet people, find info. I just spend my time on Twitter, y'all. But if anyone
Yo,
else has
Team Mercs, I need a
questions-
Discord invite.
Tim Money,
I got
you right now.
It should be in the chat.
Yeah, I'll send another.
I keep putting it in the chat. There you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you again to everyone who showed up. I look forward to potentially helping you guys out more.